Be happy.
So do not worry. Be happy, especially for those of you who struggled to get home last night out. Like we've been doing lately, it's a mixed bag. We'll talk about the rains, how much more rain should we expect for us in the south, what should we expect also, what should we put out, if you're going out to work, what do you need to take precaution for, if you are planting, if you're a farmer, what do you also need to look out for? We'll engage Felicity Ahefenyo shortly. And then there's the issue of the Ghana National Fire Service and quenching all the infernos. Yesterday there was a video circulating where a tanker was, a truck, I must say, was on fire, and the Ghana National Fire Service, personnel of them, were struggling to quench or douse the inferno. They had to resort to sachet water. Even with that, it had to take the benevolence of some bystanders to help them douse that inferno. I mean, we always talk about the Ghana National Fire Service, their challenges, and even with combating fire in this country. We'll talk about that. And then we'll also talk a bit about national service persons. Yesterday, the acting executive director said that she's making sure that the country benefits. And so there's a new system, but it was developed in-house with the help of the National Identification Authority and then gifts. We'll talk about that. But first, let's focus on the weather. I'm sure a lot of you struggled to get home last night. Felicity Ahefenyo is head of forecasting at the Ghana Meteorological Agency. Felicity, good morning to you. I trust you're doing well.
Good morning. Yes, I am better today than yesterday.
What makes you better today?
Every day I'm better than the previous day.
That's
tomorrow
good.
I'm going to be better than today.
Absolutely, that's good to know. But we're experiencing a lot of rains lately. Yesterday was no exception. Is this something that we're in for more?
The question will be yes for some areas, but then for some areas it's a no for them, in a sense that we are in the minor season over the southern sector.
Okay.
Our brethren over the north, they are exiting their rainy season. So for southern Ghana, yes, we are still in for some rain between now and early part of December. But then for the northern sector, by close of October, we don't expect any meaningful rainfall that will impact agriculture.
Now, how heavy is this rain that we're expecting? I mean, you've given us some timelines for those of us in the southern sector from now through till December. We should expect more rains. And we know that for us in the southern sector, that is where we are heavily populated. How much more rain should we expect? And what should be the precautionary measures that we should be taking?
Okay, for the minor season as it has started, almost every week we are anticipating that we'll have moderate to heavy rains, which is likely to cause flash floodings over the low-lying areas. We are also expecting that in terms of the intensity, we are expecting it between 10 to 20 or 30 millimeters per hour over some areas. Then the rest, we are expecting it to be around less than 1 millimeter to 5 millimeters over some places. And in terms of the duration, the timing, we also looking at that time, some of them, the deep convective ones are likely to stay more than an hour over sector, and then some areas it will just be some 30 minutes or 1 hour, then it stops. So as and when the conditions are favorable, a GMET forecast office we will always be releasing a weather warning. We always release 3 times daily weather. So the morning, the afternoon, and the evening. So we'll be able to inform the general public to take the necessary precautions. This is where I will also wish to ask that if GH1 you could give us a time slot so that we give you a dedicated forecaster that you can be speaking to every morning or every evening, so your audience can get updated.
My producer has just given me the green light that will be done.
Okay, thank you. So that will also help us. So rain is still in the forecast, but then it's not going to be every day. Okay. So once a week, we'll get it similar to what we experienced yesterday. And then later on, we'll start getting it. It will just form over the mountainous areas and then later descend over the southern sector. Then the coastal strip, those of us from the Volta Coast, Greater Accra Central and Western region, the active rainstorm is shifting down. So we will be getting more of the rains, and then in terms of the volume, in terms of the frequency. So we need to take precautions, especially when it's accompanied with moderate wind or thunderstorm with lightning.
So for today, we are not expecting any rains, or we are to expect rains, and the intensity of it.
Yes, today, we expect, currently we have a rainstorm that has propagated throughout the night over part of the north into the transition, those over the savannah, part of Oti region, Bono East, and is descending down. So those in Ashanti region and Western North should also watch out for rain and thunder today. Part of Volta, Greater Accra Central and Western region, we expect it to be mostly cloudy with slight to moderate rain that will occur this morning and then later in the day. So rain is still in the forecast, but the intensity is likely not to be as high as it was yesterday, but then it's going to be a wet day over some places.
Okay, so what then would you advise? I'm sure a lot of people have already left home for work. For those within the areas you have mentioned, the sectors you have mentioned, do you think that it is advisable that places that we often experience floods, they close early, head home early? What would you advise?
For today,
especially for today.
Yes, for today, though the conditions that picking the signals are also indicating that it's likely the duration may last longer, but then the intensity is what we are checking. So, if intensity will be maybe 10 to 20 millimeters per hour, then those lying around the low-lying areas, they need to take precautions. They need to, as you said, maybe close a bit earlier than that. But then we are putting our things together, so we will release a weather update to advise them if they should close early. So you give us up to 11. We will get the update and then get it to your audience.
Okay, Felicity, thank you very much. As always.
Before you go, you talked about the fact that we are to experience this up until December. When we were growing up, we knew that December is supposed to be for Harmattan. Has that changed?
Harmattan has not changed. It's also on its way. So once the minor season ends, the Harmattan will set in. So as the north is moving out by close of this month, October, the dry winds will start invading. Then later we'll have the dust that will raise at the source region. Currently, the surface is wet, so the dust is not being raised currently, but we'll start having a feel of the dry wind. So those over the north, temperatures will start picking up. They'll be getting to 34, 35, 36, and at times 37 degrees Celsius until the dust starts coming, and then it will start reflecting or deflecting the sun rays that will reduce the temperatures over their area. Then the cold winds too will also set in to make the mornings a bit cool cold for them. And then later, the winds will move down to the southern sector. By December 3rd to 4th week into January, we'll have the dry Harmattan wind engulfing the entire country. So that doesn't mean that December we may not get to rain over some areas. Some areas are likely to get some rain, especially those around the western region are likely to get some rain due to the upper westerlies that will drift some rain from those around the Liberia, those around Guinea-Bissau, those enclave towards us. So, but then we have a watch 24/7. We will be monitoring and keep updating. But for farming purposes, it's not the best for the north. They have to start thinking about irrigational system if they want to do farming between now and December. Those of us in the southern sector, some portions too, we have less than 4 weeks for them for the rains to cease. So if they are going to plant now, then they need to speak to the agri-extension officers so that they can guide them on which type of crops that they can do within the short time. For Greater Accra too, they need to speak to the agri-extension officers for advice.
Finally, you talked about low-lying areas. Yesterday, was the rain heavy enough that it caused the flooding that we saw? That's one. And then two, those living in low-lying areas, and then, of course, flood-prone areas. Are you telling them to move, or that's just a minor season, so there might not be the need for them to move?
For the rainfall, either is major or is minor. With the situation that we find ourselves in Ghana, coupled with our own human activities, any rain that is 10 or 20 millimeters will definitely result into floods because our gutters are choked. And then we have a built environment. Most of us have tiled our homes. So the run of water that comes, always have to find a way. So the volume that gather at a point is a problem. Okay. But then telling them to move now would be difficult on my part to advise them. So they have to speak with NADMO because GMET, we work with NADMO, we give them the information, and then they also have their thresholds that they work with. So they will be able to advise to that regard.
All right. Felicity, thank you very much. I'm sure later in the day and in the evening we'll be able to engage in, and then you give us further focus. We do appreciate your time. That's Felicity Ayafanyo. She's head of analysis and forecasting unit at the Ghana Meteorological Agency. So you know that if you live in the Greater Accra, especially those of us on the coastal belt, we should expect more rains. Those of us in the southern belt, too, we should expect minor rains. Up north, some major rains, but by end of October, they should be heading to the dry season. And Felicity has advised that for those of you up north who are into farming, you should start thinking about irrigation system. So please, today we're expecting rains, and so it's either you want to close early. And so for businesses, business owners, for managers, supervisors, line managers, please ensure that your staff, for those who live in low-lying areas, who live in flood-prone areas, you should be able to close them early for their own safety. So today we're expecting some rains. Take precautionary measures. If you're driving, be sure to ensure that you're not driving on the shoulders of the road. You may land in a gutter, you never know. Yeah. And then you should not overspeed. You could skid off the road. Please take precautionary measures. You are being advised that we're still in the rainy season, even though it's minor. But looking at our infrastructure and architecture in our spatial planning, it could cause some flooding. I mean, that's...
Yesterday. If I doubt many people who go home very late yesterday have left the house as we speak because it was terrible. When it rains in Accra especially, or in the major cities, that's when you see how terrible our transportation system is as a country.
Exactly.
It's raining.
Our road network.
Down by the roadsides. There are no vehicles. And the vehicles that will rescue it are cutting their throats. Yeah. Including the ride-hailing apps.
Yes. Yesterday I saw a lot of people post on social media that, I don't want to mention names.
Yeah, but like 300 cedis, 400 cedis for you to commute from the house. Ridiculous.
I mean, that was their cocoa season, but let's not take advantage of ourselves as Ghanaians. Sometimes we're just wicked to ourselves.
We need to reset that system. See,
yes,
public transportation is a big deal. It's a national security matter. As to whether you get home safely or you don't.
Not.
As to whether you get to work safely or not, right? So we cannot just leave it in the hands of the private sector. We fidgeted with the idea of Ayalolo. Brilliant idea.
Yeah.
But it was fought tooth and nail. The drivers resisted it.
Yeah.
Dedicated lanes, they said no. Why
Now they
do
have
you want to
taken
dedicate?
over. Now they have taken over, yeah. It's quite sad that as a country, we are unable to map out a proper transport system and regulate it. Quite sad. Anyway, let's touch on another issue that I mentioned earlier, the issue with the Ghana National Fire Service. I'm sure you saw the video. If we can put up that video, there was a truck that caught fire, and the personnel of the Ghana National Fire Service was struggling to douse that fire. They had to resort to sachet water, and it took the help of some bystanders who decided to come in and aid them. Charlie, the last time we were complaining of a taxi being used as a water transporter. Today, it is sachet water to douse Inferno. I'm sure we're all not lost on the challenges of the Ghana National Fire Service. Let's engage the divisional officer 2, GHOne, Desmond Aka, head of public relations for the Ghana National Fire Service. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, and thanks for having me.
You're most welcome, sir. Has this video come to your attention?
Well, let me first of all say a very good morning to your cherished viewers. The video in question, I think the incident happened somewhere last week, where we had our men from the Jaraso fire station rushed to the scene with some potable fire extinguishers from the fire station, which is closer to the incident scene. That fire station was recently commissioned, and because it is now a fire post, they don't have a fire engine. But tried as they did, they had to respond with potable fire extinguishers. So if you saw in the video, you would see that initially the fire was tackled using about 4 fire extinguishers. But unfortunately, because it was the vehicle's tires that were involved in the fire, the extinguishers of the fire. So tactically, they had to resort to the use of water. The video that you have is not the full extent of the video.
Okay.
So eventually, they succeeded in using sachet water, buckets of water, to be able to fully extinguish that particular fire. And I must say that these young, gallant firefighters must be appreciated. And they risk their lives.
I agree.
Even though it's a fire post, they don't have a fire tender. They don't have all they are supposed to have, but they risk it to extinguish the fire. So instead of people trolling them and then questioning them about the need for them to be fully protected and all that, I think it must be commended for the act of bravery that they were able to put out, regardless of the challenges that is well known to everybody in Ghana. And this also caused the need our service to be adequately resourced. I think that will have also in coming home to adequately resourced. And we are happy that government has responded to the call, and plans are far advanced to get us with these modern fire appliances and then PPEs, so to speak. So
now, Dio, I'm not sure I got the area right.
Yes, so the area is within the North constituency, precisely.
He breaks.
Can you repeat? Did you say Asen North?
North
North.
Asante Achim North.
Ashanti region.
Okay.
So
Okay. So around the Joaso enclave.
Yes.
Okay.
So ordinarily, this particular long vehicle should have functional fire extinguishers on them. But it is not too clear as to whether when the fire started, the driver or the mate deployed the extinguisher on board the long truck.
Okay.
But we were able to marshal about 4 different fire extinguishers from the fire post, which is closer to the incident scene. And then we were able to eventually douse the fire using water to also augment with a potable fire extinguisher.
Okay. You talk about the challenges. I mean, we're all not lost on the challenges you have. But for a new fire station, what would require it to be sufficiently efficient?
Well, so for a fully fledged fire station, they should have an effective fire appliance, which is well equipped with all PPEs. But in this case, because it's a fire post for now, and we needed to bring people there to kind of engage with the local community to prevent fires, it became necessary that we open this fire post just to ensure that we kind of prevent these fires and other life-threatening incidents. And you know, that is also on the Accra-Kumasi highway. That is also an accident-prone area. So that if there is any accident, they will be able to respond promptly to save lives. So that necessitated for that particular fire post to be bring on stream. And so that is the bit of it. So because it is not looking basic fire equipment, and that is how come it was very difficult for us to mobilize a tender to that particular incident, because the closest station to that particular area is Konongo. And as we speak now, Konongo has no functional tender. So even if we were supposed to call it for a tender, it meant that the tender would have to come all the way from Ejoso, and that would take more than an hour to be able to get to the scene. So the most effective tactics to deploy at the time was to resort to using fire extinguishers and then water to be able to douse that particular fire, and they succeeded in doing that.
Okay, now you mentioned that this fire station is along a major route, and we all know how you also alluded to the fact that it is an accident-prone area. In the unlikely event, touch wood, that there's a major accident on that stretch, it means that lives are going to be lost. Is that the case? Because you are not equipped.
Accidents have been happening around that corridor. And any time it has happened, we have been able to marshal the needed resources. So aside that fire post, there is also Konongo with a rapid response RTC van, which is fully stocked with extrication tools. So any accident that may occur in that immediate vicinity, Konongo is there to be able to reach out or respond to save lives. So I don't think that in case of any accidents, more lives will be lost. It will, in any case, it depends on the nature of the accident. And then the response that is required to be mobilized to that scene. So we are not praying for any such thing, but when it happens, anytime it has happened, we have always lived up to expectation.
Dio, when was the last time the National Fire Service was retooled massively? When was the last time you experienced this?
I think this conversation has been ongoing for some time now. I think the last time we received major retooling was somewhere around 2015 or so. And since that time, we've not had any major retooling. And so we are forced to make do with what we have. And I believe that it will not be out of place if you would also use your bigger platform to advocate for the Ghana National Fire Service to be adequately resourced. And we need the tools as quickly as possible. And we are happy that there are efforts in place to retool us.
Mr. Desmond, how many serviceable fire tenders do you have nationally?
Well, the last time I checked, we had 80% of our fleet, the current fleet of fire engines and other auxiliary utility vehicles in commission. But these are vehicles and they are aids as well. So in as much as we try to repair or maintain them, they can equally break down at any point in time. But be as it may, all the major incidents that we've had occurred or has been occurring in recent times, we've been able to marshal the needed resources to be able to deal with that in such a way that millions of cities have been saved and countless number of lives have been preserved.
Finally, from me, there's this famous or infamous video of your men having to arrive in a taxi with fire extinguisher in their hands somewhere in the eastern region, and this happened some months ago, if not years ago. Has that service station been equipped now?
I think that footage occurred years ago in the eastern region,
About 2 years ago.
Yes.
But with the eyes that I have, those brave firefighters must be commended. I think it will not be far-fetched if even you could even advocate for their promotion. Because at the time of that particular incident, their fire truck had broken down. Yeah. And as responsible professionals, they had to resort in taking taxi to the scene with portable fire extinguishers, and which actually helped in dousing that particular fire. But an ordinary civilian will see it as an avenue to mock these brave firefighters. So, in as much as we would want to cast aspersions or throw the Ghana National Fire Service, we should also bear in mind that our challenges are huge, and we need everyone or everybody, every institution to clamor around us to be able to ask for adequate resources so as to be able to live up to our mandate. Because if we have the needed resources and we are all over the place, it means that our response time will be shortened. Countless number of lives would be saved. Anyone at all is at risk. So we should not take the opportunity, the slightest opportunity, just to make mockery of the Ghana National Fire Service. We are all to be blamed for that. And if we want to correct it, then it means that we all have to add our voices and ensure that the Ghana National Fire Service is positioned at a position or at a level where it can be able to deliver at all times on its mandate, just to save lives, preserve, protect the people's property, and then also preserve the environment as well.
Dear, thank you very much. I'm sure that the advocacy will start now. It is imperative that the Ghana National Fire Service is retooled. If it has taken 10 years, that's GHOne Desmond, by the way, he's head of public relations for the Ghana National Fire Service. If it's taken 10 years for the Ghana National Fire Service to be retooled, I remember you did a story even in Parliament on the fire tenders and even the station itself. And so even if at the House of Legislature we're having such challenges, it goes a long way to tell you the enormous challenge we have on our hands. Look at where the incident happened with regards to this long track. That is an accident-prone area. Really?
By information, that's where I'm from. So the young men and women who died in that Obogu incident, that's exactly where it took place. So yes, I understand that if the accident requires extrication, the Ghana National Fire Service will have the tools. But what if there's fire involved? The fire tender in Konongo is not in commission as we speak, but what he related to. And Konongo is a very huge community. So the fire tender in Konongo is supposed to serve many adjoining communities, including GHOne, Obogu, and what have you. So if it's not serviceable, and the nearest one will be in Ejoso. Ejoso and Kumasi are almost the same, right? So imagine a fire tender having to move from Kumasi all the way to Konongo, GHOne, to Asankare, or Atwedia, which has been very, very, very notorious with these road accidents. Imagine. I always maintain that in this part of the world, we don't place much value on life. And that's our problem. Because, yes, accidents are bound to happen, but there must be measures, mitigation measures, including the fire service being equipped. So, per what he related to 2015.
So that's 10 years on. Elsewhere, people have migrated to advanced technology.
Exactly.
We're still even struggling with tenders, procurement of tenders.
Yes.
And even the tenders, they are 19 kujuhoho ones.
Oh, yes. They can't move above 5 stories. Yes, they can't move above 5 stories.
We experienced the fire incident in Kumasi Nedum, and look at the extent of damage. Because of fire, and the issue of fire hydrants.
Yes.
In a country as Ghana, in today's Ghana, after how many years of over 60 years of independence, we're still struggling with means to access fire hydrants.
Yes. People build on them.
Spatial planning in Ghana. Anyway, like I always say, we're not angry enough. This is a clarion call. Maybe we'll have to start now. Since President Mohammed says he's resetting, maybe it is time to reset the Ghana National Fire Service as well as other institutions that need adequate attention.
Others are fighting blaze with helicopters. Yes. Elsewhere, the fire service has access to helicopters because there are some blazes or infernos that will require that you fight from the sky. Let's deal with the grounds one first here.
Even your attendants are broken down. Anyway, that should do. Unfortunately, we couldn't talk about the National Service Authority.
They said you should reapply. Just reapply.
So you have a week to reapply, and then we'll be able to talk about that tomorrow. We'll do some sports now. You're welcome back to the show. It's now time to head to the sports world, and Jones has joined me, clad in his Ghanaian jersey. He's very patriotic, by the way. Jones, good morning.
Arise, Ghana youth, for your country.
Arise, Black Stars for their pockets.
We're talking about the Black Stars. We'll talk about the Black Stars in a jiffy. But I mean, it's just right that we start from UDS because the Black Stars are getting there. As for UDS, they're already there. They've shown us that they are world champions. And President Mohammed has given them 500,000 Ghana cedis as a reward for their exploits at the FISU World Football University Tournament in China. They won the trophy 2 weeks ago, and he had this to say when they met him at the presidency yesterday.
The story of your victory can be termed from Tamale to the world stage. You said the university is partly in Sanergo and partly in Tamale South. So from Tamale to the world stage, this perfectly embodies the spirit of the reset agenda. Ghana rising through discipline, opportunity, and excellence. And so let me once again congratulate Professor Alassane, the Vice Chancellor, your academic team and management team. Congratulate the UDS community and all who supported the team on this journey. You brought glory to Ghana and renewed the faith in the power of young people, education, and sports to transform lives. Carry this, your victory, with humility. Let it inspire others to dream boldly and work hard.
So UDS, as people they celebrate, be humble. And you know, yesterday I told you that Asamajan is in camp with them, and you know Asamajan comes with the vibe. Okay?
Baby
okay.
Jets.
Okay. So let's see what happened yesterday when the Black Stars had their final training before the game today. Only God can help us today, but destiny is in our own hands, Lily. We are first in that group, 19 points, comfortable lead. And Coach Otuado has been speaking, and he's very optimistic of victory today at 4 p.m.
I'm very happy for them. First of all, it's not, you can't take it for granted to come back as strong as they are coming back from what I saw in their games. And I'm really, really happy for them. They really deserve it to be back. And we've been observing them. We've been in talks throughout with them. And they're progressing on their fitness level. I mean, they're doing well in their league. So I'm very, very happy for them to be back. The chat was a very, very strong lesson for us. I just hope that we learned out of this. We have to take it serious till the last minute. We have to fight defensively, especially to the last minute. Surely, I know we have our offensive strength and we will create chances and we have to score. And I'm pretty much sure we will score, but it's very, very important that everybody's on his toes till the last minute. And like I said, we took a lot of learnings from Chad, and I have a very, very good feeling that we can hold the zero in this game, and we'll be able to score 1 or 2 goals.
Well, Otuado also spoke about how it would be good enough to win today's game and then rely on winning the other game on Sunday as well.
Live too much in the past. We have to think about tomorrow. We have to win this game, and then we see. In a normal scenario, we still need to win the second game as well, or play a draw as well. So we have to take it game by game. We don't think too far. Surely I'm not thinking too much about myself. It's about the team, and we want to win this game tomorrow, and then we see. We are in a comfortable position that we can look on ourselves, and we want to win this game. And I think if we win this game, we have a high probability to qualify for the World Cup. And but this is just the first step, and maybe we have to do a second one in Accra. But we're looking at this game, and we want to win this game. And whatever happens, we can't control. We can't have an influence, and we can just concentrate on what we can influence. And this is the game tomorrow.
So today, 4 p.m. Lily, predictions?
Well, I just want the Black Stars to win. I just want to go to Mexico.
Yeah, that's all you care about.
Like I told you, we will not go to Ghana. We'll go to Mexico.
Why? Do you have a land in Mexico, or you have a property there? Please.
Maybe I'm looking for a Mexican to marry.
Hey.
I like that.
No. Because of Adasi Travels, right? I told you about Adasi Travels. Yes. And they're the plug if you want to go to America. So please, we beg you, Black Stars, win for us. But it's Canada. Yesterday, there was a prophet whose prophecy was going around, and the prophet was talking about a prophecy, Lily. The prophecy was that he saw Ghanaians jubilating on Sunday, but then when the draw was made, the draw will be made in December. And according to the prophecy, Ghanaians were not happy because Ghana was put in Mexico. So please, We pay Mexico.
What did you say?
I'm saying that
said?
the prophet says that on Sunday he saw Ghanaians jubilating. It means that we've qualified for the World Cup. Joy. But then some months later, and that's in December, he sees that we are not happy and we are sad because Ghana has been put in a group in Mexico.
See,
and we don't want that.
Me, because I'm not wearing
that prophet, prophet, we cast and bind that one. We cast and bind. Ghana will be in Canada or America.
Ghana will be in Mexico.
Why Mexico?
Why not Mexico?
They don't even the English. We can't speak. Why is Canada? We can't speak
why
English.
Not Mexico? I mean, we can get a chance to go to Cancun and others and explore Mexico. America, then I'll explore.
We'll go and play at the 20 World Cup there. But as for the World Cup there, Ghana, USA, Canada, Mexico, the American. But then, I mean, it's the Black Stars. I don't know if we can get to Monica now.
Yeah.
We're trying joining her on Zoom, but she's been monitoring proceedings for us. And she was at the training yesterday, the training grounds of the Black Stars. She according to her, the mood in camp is high. It's high. You saw Samajani in there, there's Steven Appiah in there. We are talking about the management committee members and their bonus. They don't even care about our bonus things because they want to work.
At
working.
This point,
yeah.
At this point, we do not care about bonus. We just want the Black Stars to qualify. Yeah. So we have Monica Bukari on the phone.
Yeah.
Kankesia Dancer Travels. She's joined us all the way from Morocco.
Hello, Monica.
Hi, Jones. Hi, Lily. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, and that's
Lily,
more
I
Monica now.
I miss you too. I know that you are in high spirits.
Yes.
How is the training going?
So
I mean,
we got here yesterday. It was your last training session ahead of. The strength count is so high. You see the players not moody, but kind of in high spirits because they know what is at stake and they know what is ahead of them. They are not comfortable. Yesterday, Coach Otuado had to have his presser later in the evening after their training session. He was supposed to have it in the afternoon as required of every team ahead of the qualifiers, but things didn't happen that way, and he had to do that in the hotel. And from what he says and what we gather, it looks like neither Coach Otuado or the team are complacent with the results we have now, as in being in a comfortable lead, as Shatawale would say, on the table with the 19 points and Madagascar with 16. They know very well that everybody on the table is playing at 4 p.m., so there is no chances to give up. They know that they have to gather all the 3 points here in Morocco on this particular neutral ground so that it will be possible when they come back home to Ghana, they can have, even if it is a draw against Comoros. So the players, when you see them, they are kind of...
Okay. We'll rework the lines.
It means that the mood in camp there is excellent.
It's good.
Excellent.
And that's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
You know, what happens here affects the output.
Yeah.
So if the stars are in high spirits, mentally, because it's important that they go onto the pitch.
That clarity.
Yeah.
And you know, yesterday I spoke to Ajiman Bedu and he says that they need to take their chances against Chad. The first video that we played of Coach Otuado, he says that they've learned a lot of lessons from Chad, where a lot of people were complaining after the 1-1 draw. And we expect that they've actually learned lessons and they'll go all out to be able to beat CAR today. Now, we played CAR last year in Kumasi. Bengazi and myself were in Kumasi to bring live commentary for our listeners. And it was a 7-goal trailer. They scored 3, we scored 4. It tells you that they're not a bad side at all.
Yes.
But in recent times, they've not won any of their games. They are yet to score a goal and all that. So, according to Monica...
Well, she's back, thankfully, she's back on. Hi, Monica. It's good to see you.
Good to see you, Lily. Good to see you. So as I was saying, you know, Carcass and then Wengers all came into this particular game in high spirits because they've had a good game. I mean, Mohammed Kudus scoring his first goal for Tottenham. You have Fatai Shahaku, who has returned from injury, also with a goal now. And you have Semenyo with that brace there for Bournemouth. Almost every other player that is coming into this team, midfielders, Thomas Partey, including the goalkeepers and defenders, have had a good game. So you see them at training and they are all smiles because it's not as if they are not bothered or they are not focused on this game. They know what is ahead of them. They know what is at stake. And they know that they need to gather all 3 points here on the neutral ground to be able to at least, even if it is a draw at the Accra Sports Stadium, it is going to help them. So you watch them and then you listen to Coach Otto Addo in his pre-match conference yesterday at the hotel. Coach Otto Addo, what he says is he's not complacent. Neither is the team complacent. He believes in his team. Individually, every other player in the team is exceptionally good. But what he's focused on now is to put their heads together, play as a team, because football is not an individual sport. Nobody should play with an ego or play with some kind of confidence because you think you are you. It's a teamwork. And they think they have to come together to be able to gather all 3 points for Ghana. Because, Lily, when I got to the airport, I saw most of Ghanaians coming in here to watch the game, especially when it comes to the security service, the military. You can't put them on camera, so we couldn't speak to them. But they have come here to be able to support the team to victory. Now, yesterday, president of the GFA, who happens to be second vice president also for CAF, which is Ket Okweku, he's now been appointed chairman for another committee which is having this football. But the thing is, he came into camp yesterday, and the morale that he came, the motivation that he came to bring to the players, speaking to the players such as Fatai Shahaku, speaking to Inform or Alidu Saidu, who is returning from injury, and speaking to all the other players, the heart, the conversations, you can tell that these players are ready and they are not going to disappoint Ghana. Kudus once said, you understand what I'm saying? They need it more than us because it is a platform for you, the player, as well, to showcase your talent so you can even get a better platform where you are playing.
Now, Monica, one of the things...
today at 4 p.m.
One of the things that people had criticized was the tactics of Otto Addo. Looking at what has been going on since you landed there, does it suppose that Otto Addo is changing his tactics or he's maintaining? Because this is crucial.
This is crucial. And Lily, you know, normally when they have their last training, that is where they do their final selection. That is the first 11. So they make the media stay away from the training. So only 15 minutes is given to you to be able to observe proceedings. And then after the media has gone out, then they can have that selection. But we are banking on him. Otto Addo has been, even though we don't like his style of play or style of formation, we can all attest to it that he is a coach of qualifiers. He can qualify you to the World Cup. So we believe in him.
Well, Monica,
he's a man of qualifiers. That's how I call him.
You talk about how you met some Ghanaians. What are they saying? I believe that the Supporters Union, you've seen some of them. What are their expectations? And for you, what is your prediction for today's game?
For me, if you ask me, I'll tell you that even if we get a goal and then we defend throughout, because we have come away, and this is a neutral ground for us as well, because it's not the home of Central African Republic, though they have opted for this place. We are certainly going to win this game today. The boys, they needed more than us, GHOne. So I know that it's going to be a win for us. And if you listen to the supporters, even some of the sport journalists that we met here, they can tell you that we are ready. What I want to tell you is Ghana is ready. All right.
Yeah. I was going to ask you if you've learned any word from Morocco or something, but...
Oh, yes, I've learned. So you say, shukran. Shukran is thank you.
Oh, okay. And with that, Lily, Shukran. Otto Addo, shukran. I said, did I just say Lily?
So after the game today, when we win, we are going to tell Otto Addo.
Shukran. Thank you so much, Monica.
Thank you, Monica. We'll catch you later.
So shukran. With that,
we'll tell that to Otto Addo.
If
he changes his tactics.
No. The tactics, we just want to win 3 points.
Okay.
And we'll get it.
But the tactics will give us a win.
And even if it's the old tactics crowd, we'll get it.
We just need a win.
And we'll go to Canada and America.
We'll go to Mexico.
We'll go to Canada and America. All right, that will be all. The last story was supposed to be what Monica talked about. Kate Okoreku has been appointed as the chairperson for the anti-racism. This is FIFA. This is not CAF, FIFA. So he's the chairperson for the anti-racism and the anti-discrimination committee. There you see the man on your screens there. And then he's climbing the ladder. The social ladder gradually is getting there. Shukran to him as well. And that will be
putting Ghana on
the map. And shukran to UDS too.
Yes.
And shukran to all the cameramen. Who abuse the word.
Yes, at this point, shukran to our viewers as well. Shukran to you for bringing us there.
We outside. Shukran.
Anyway, that's Jones with the Sports Chats. My name is Lily Mohammed. I take a break here. We'll also bring you the newspapers, what the various headlines are. And when I come back from this break, you know it's Wednesday, right? It's an all-female ensemble. And today, interestingly, I have a lot of women lined up for the show. We'll talk about breast cancer. It's Pink October. And so the need for us to protect our breasts, not just for women, but for men as well. And then I also engage the MC for Wenchi. And of course, you know the breakfast review will be all female as well. Please stay tuned in. Do not miss any part of the show. I'm back shortly. Yeah, welcome back to the show. This is still GHToday here on GHOne TV. It's our time for the breakfast review, and I told you earlier that it is an all-female ensemble here on the show. My guest this morning, Rosemond Obenge, is a presidential staff and a member of the NDC communications team. Grace Akosua-Mwabenge is a member of the NPP communications team, and she's in pink. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
How are we doing?
Very well.
Rosemond, this is my first time meeting you here. How are you?
I'm very well.
It's good to see you.
This is not a new platform.
Yes, of course.
Proud to the
I mean,
elections,
we started from live stills.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
That was for evenings,
Yes,
if I
for
recollect.
evening.
Yes.
Yeah.
And proud to the elections.
Oh, yes,
Yes.
you are here as well.
Yes,
but
yes.
I had not met you on this platform. So this
Exactly,
is our first time
yes.
meeting on this platform.
That's-
but it's good
that's very
that you are
correct.
back home. Anyway, Grace, it's good to see you again.
Good to see you too. I was here last week.
Yes.
We had a good time.
Yes, we did. We did.
I think I said I was going to bring one of my shirts for you.
Yes, and you didn't.
Oh, I will. So I just want you to see how it looks like. So I'm wearing one at the moment.
So that when you bring it, I could...
Exactly. You see how to work around it.
Since we are in pink October, that's
Right.
fine. Anyway, I'm sure you saw the video that was played a while ago. The Ghana National Fire Service, personnel of them trying to douse the inferno with sachet water. We engaged the head of public relations for Ghana National Fire Service, and the concern is retooling of the service. Since 2015, it's not been adequately retooled. So this is a major concern. And this happened on a major stretch on the Accra-Kumasi Highway. That's around the Jaso area. I'm sure we all know that that's a high accident-prone area. And so if, for us as a country, we have not retooled a critical service, as is for the past 10 years, that's worrying. Grace, isn't it?
It is. I'm now seeing this video. Yesterday was a very busy day for me because Her Excellency, the former second lady, was having a program at Labadi Beach Hotel.
Okay.
Yes, it was a 2-day event, African women and children.
Yes, I think I saw it. Yesterday was the concert.
Yesterday was the concert where we ended at 5 p.m. and then we started the concert at 6 p.m. We ended around 10. So it was a good show. It was a good concert. We had all the what we call Gen Z, last May, all these people coming over to sing, and it was nice. We had a good time. I'm now seeing this video, and I think I asked the question, like, did this really happen?
Yeah.
Because I was thinking maybe they were passing by and they saw this incident, but if this was what they had in hand to solve this issue, then I think we really need a retooling of what we call it, the equipment for them, because it's really bad on the highway where we know accident. We have so many accidents happening in the past few months, and to see this happening by the highway, that's not good. Exactly. We need to really look at the fire service for them to be using sachet water to stop this. I think it is not good. We need to really look at it. I don't know what the government is doing with regards to the fire service. I haven't really. I'm watching it and I don't know what to say. They have other residents coming in to help them stop the fire. That is it's really serious. We really need to look at it because I don't think it's a good thing for our country. Right.
Rosemond.
Okay, I think that I can't agree with the lady who spoke. I think she's the lady. She spoke earlier on.
No, it's a gentleman.
A gentleman.
That's the head of public relations.
Yes, so I think that as a government, we are doing our best, but there's more room for improvement. I think there's more to do. But I'm informed by another source that they were now outsourcing some of their tools. That is what the information I'm having. So in the interim, but even if that was an interim measure, I don't think it's the best of, situations.
Exactly.
We need to, do more, because I'm very much aware the fire service has over 140 stations in Ghana, and obviously with a situation like this, it happened at the outskirts of town. So that could explain the situation that warranted sachet water being used. Regardless, it's definitely cannot take care of the issue. It would rather perhaps escalate it. So I think we need to properly look at it, how they can look at contingency measures. When, obviously, with accident, they don't expect them, but how, to navigate and go about it swiftly. Because the issue is how to act swiftly. How to act swiftly. But you still need to have the right resource to act swiftly. So I think we just need to do a lot more. And we are committed to it. Yes, we are committed to it. Yes.
And I think that is a campaign that for us as the IB, we will be championing, because it is not enough that we have a lot of fire stations with a lot of personnel, but very few equipment to work with, especially in our part of the world. I mean, after 60 years of independence, if this is what we are working with, then about 2 years ago, I beg your pardon, we had a situation where firefighters had to use a taxi, had to convey equipment via taxi in the eastern region to douse Inferno. And this is the situation we have on hand. From the horses home, 10 years, they have not been adequately retooled. That is a source of worry. I mean, for a major security institution like the Ghana National Fire Service, it is a cause of worry.
What was this? Were they passing by?
No, so there was a situation, they were called. There's a fire station in that area. They were called, but according to the head of public relations, it's a new fire station, and so they've not been equipped. And any time there's an accident or an unforeseen circumstance, they have to fall on their counterpart in Konongo, and even that is not adequately retooled, so they have to look on to it. I mean,
do you have an idea how long they've been there since it's new?
Yes, probably over a year.
Over a year, it's not new.
That's
it's not
new,
that
because
new,
for them to use sachet water for this, it's a no-no.
That should tell you the enormity of the situation we have on our hands as a country.
I was even thinking it's a matter of days or weeks, but so we need to.
I think the government should really look at this, because this is our security, one of our main security agencies, and they don't have the tools to work. I don't think it should be done like that, because I don't know if they had a plan for the security agencies when they were coming into power, but I think that they should sit down with this situation coming up. The government needs to really sit down and look at this situation, because we can't have it can be more than this. This is just, I can see it's just something that's coming up, a small fire. But then what if it was huge, because then it's a highway? What if we have so many cars at that moment? What are they going to do? Are they going to stop the fire with sachet water? No, it's not possible.
I admit we need to do more, but this is one out of a lot. This is one out of a lot.
It's a concern. It's a concern. We can't get to this point where we know that something like, we don't have to sit there for this to happen before we act. As even the government came into power 9 months ago, these are the things that they should be sitting down with the security personnel to see what is going on. It's almost a year. Maybe, I don't know, they came to power in 2023. 9 months is almost a year. They should have been able to sit down with these people to find out the people in charge of the security agencies to see what they are lacking, to be able to solve the issue.
Does it then suppose that the previous administration was not concerned? Because the last time they were retooled was adequately. I'm not saying they've not been retooled. Adequately. So this is adequate for you. What you were saying.
You said it's a new facility.
But I'm saying the entire fire service has a challenge of retooling equipment. We have a challenge on our hands. The last time was in 2015. That's 10 years ago.
That was 10 years ago. Said it was adequate. Okay, I don't have the data to that. But then I know with the other...
That's from the head of public relations, by the way.
But I know with the other security agencies, we've seen the cars, the equipment that they're now using, with the motorbikes to the cars, the vehicles that they're using.
That's why I asked, was it that the previous administration did not see the Ghana National Fire Service as a priority?
For that, I don't know what went into it. I don't have the data, so I will not be able to speak to that. But I know that you said this facility has been there for like just a year. It's a new facility. And then we have a new government.
So it means that it was under the previous administration
that they established it. But then we don't have the facts as to when they started working.
That's what I'm saying. A year ago. So if it's a year ago, they were not adequately tooled for.
Right. So now we know that this is the situation. We have a new government in power, and I know that I'm sure they've been briefed. I'm sure they went through a whole lot of the transition processes and all that. So I'm sure they've been briefed, and this shouldn't be happening at this time, because if they've been briefed and they know what the fire service people, what the fire service agency needs, it should be attended to. We shouldn't get to this point. Absolutely. Even though we had a previous government, now we have a new government. They've been briefed, like I said. So they should sit down with them to find out the best ways to go about, so that we don't have these things coming up.
Incidents recurring. First one, is the Ghana National Fire Service a priority service to the NDC government?
It is a priority service. It is a security threat. We are experiencing fires everywhere. And so, of course, we are very concerned. We are very much concerned about retooling all the 140 stations. And so that is not in question. That is not in question. We are very committed. Like I said, this is one. It's a rare situation. But I believe it gives us the opportunity to think outside the box, to look at how we can do our best instead of better. And it's not political. You understand? So I think that this is an eye-opener. That is what I can say for now.
Okay, yes. Definitely so. Let's talk about Galamsey, shall we? A lot of issues arising as a result of Galamsey. Yesterday, I engaged the Western Regional Minister on a situation on a rail line along the Takwai Sayim district. Illegal miners had actually mined under the rail line. That is the extent of damage we're dealing with as a country. Yesterday, there was a release by the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources. NIMOS had conducted an operation in the Western region in a place called Gangway. They had arrested a few people there. But is illegal mining a topmost priority, fighting it for President Mohammed?
It is a very topmost priority. He's not taking the social contract for granted. He was voted overwhelmingly. Ghanaians gave him an overwhelming mandate. He's very committed to it. And as a government, we have shown through our actions within these 9 months that we are more than committed to this. And the day he met the CSOs, he reinforced his political will to combat this menace. And we could all attest to it. You see, on that very day, after the presentation, the CSOs could attest to the fact that we were just doing a lot more than we were communicating. We could see the work of NIMOS, the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat. We could. I even have to update the numbers I had because you could see that with the seizure of excavators, we had tackled over 450. The Shamfines, over 500. The water pumps, over 1,000. And we had arrested illegal miners, over 1,400. This is a clear commitment from the government. And we were not, what birthed the NIMOS was the fact that every agency or ministry could not be operated a task force. It should be coordinated. And that is what birthed the NIMOS. And so now actions of operations are coordinated, be it from Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Environment, BNI, National Security. It is properly coordinated.
Okay.
And so we are taking the step together. It is properly coordinated, and that is why we have achieved, the NIMOS have been able to achieve the things I just mentioned.
Okay.
And even with what we saw in Western region, clearly, for lack of coordination from NIMOS, I don't think it would have been possible to arrest over 12 people who are currently facing prosecution. This is clearly the work of a coordinated force that is being supervised by the Land and Human Resource Minister. And there's one fascinating thing, and I think President Mohammed stressed on it the day he met the CSOs. And they were also fascinated. He said that, contrary to what we know, we are going to track the excavators using the geofencing technology. Once they move outside the threshold, it triggers a response. And so the excavator is disabled. Now, you would have to seek or get a permit even before you import the excavator. That is an action of a government that is committed to the fight.
Okay.
Because as I speak to you, we have some excavators at the port, and we are not clearing them because they cannot prove what they are going to be used for. And so clearly, if we allow it without the technology of the geofencing, what would happen, Lily? The environment is going to be degraded because clearly most of those excavators would be used for illegal mining.
Okay.
We have not issued, Lily, a single lining license in our forest reserve. Contrary to what we had experienced in the past, when people were given license, given the legitimacy to destroy our forest reserves, to destroy our water bodies, we have not done that. We have not done that. We have not opened the floodgates. And the floodgates was opened by the past government with the introduction of the LI, the 2462.
Okay.
And we have given a clear commitment to revoking it and replacing it with the LI 2501. And that is what we heard the Attorney General say, that as soon as Parliament reconvenes, we are just revoking that LI. That did a lot of damage to our environment. This is what President Mahama is committed to doing.
Okay.
But
if I'm sure you would also recall that just about 2 days ago, the Speaker of Parliament has postponed Parliament's reconstitution indefinitely. So does it mean that if Parliament doesn't reconvene, the Attorney General will not submit this to Parliament under a certificate of emergency? Under a certificate of emergency, they can be reconvened immediately. Is that not a priority for the Attorney General and the government?
As a matter of fact, when I heard that communique from the Speaker of Parliament, I was quite worried.
Why?
I was quite worried because I saw the commitment in the eyes of our president. I saw the commitment from the Attorney General that we could not waste much time. We need to revoke this. And so I have been particularly worried about it. But I'm very sure that it will be reconvened soon. Parliament will reconvene soon. And so I'm looking forward to it because that is the only way we can revoke the LI. That is the only way. And so I believe that as we are speaking, talks are ongoing. For him to reconvene, because we need to repeal this. We need to undo this harm. So that is what happened, you know, when I heard about the communique. And let me also say this, and I say that is our new baby, deploring the military people to the forest reserves and to our water bodies. You dare not. You dare not enter those areas. And we also believe that perhaps some of the military people may, I'm using the word may cautiously, with all due respect to some of them, may be compromised. And so we change them from time to time, but they are stationed permanently. I'm talking about the deployment. The people we deploy there are going to be there 24/7 to ensure that nobody comes into that area. Because I believe that that is a pragmatic way of solving these menace. Because once they are there and you are afraid to enter, it means our waters can rest.
Okay.
It means our forest can also rest. And so that is one thing we are doing that fascinates me so much.
But I'm also worried, and if you say that they'll be stationed there 24/7, you know that familiarity is a concern.
Yeah.
Are we sure, cocksure, that the military will not be compromised as they station there longer?
Really, I said it in my survey. I said that just maybe some could be compromised. And so we changed them from time to time. So it's rotational. So I said that.
Okay.
But the target is to make sure that at any point in time, somebody is there.
Okay.
So that we can avoid or preempt something like this. Yes. So that is what I just said.
Okay. Grace.
Okay, Lily. So my sister here had said a lot. Last week we were here. I think we spoke about the president meeting the CSOs, and I mentioned it was just for the optics, like I said. And we can clearly see it's been a week, and what do we hear? We don't hear anything. You just stated that people are even mining to the extent that now our railways are being destroyed because of this mining. She mentioned 120-day social contract that the NDC signed with Ghanaians. And then I remember when I came here last week, I spoke about cabinet ministers saying, before they came into power, saying that within a week, if the president has the will to stop Galamsey in a week. She has said a lot of things, but we are still at the same point. People are losing their children. People are getting sick. Some districts in the central region are struggling with good access to clean and good water. That is what the people of Ghana are concerned about. With the talks after the meeting with the CSOs, like I said, we don't see any change. It's still the same. One of the CEOs came out, that's Ken Ashibe, came out to say that they didn't even get the opportunity to ask the right questions. They didn't get the opportunity to speak to the president on this matter, to the extent that even with the projections they made, the presentation they made on that day, there were no timelines to it. There's no timeline to it to say, okay, in October we are stopping this is happening, even though they had some timelines. The very important ones, important ones didn't have timelines. So I asked myself, what was the reason for the meeting? If they went there and the people feel like they couldn't ask the right questions and they didn't get the timelines right, then we're just there for the optics, like I said earlier. Nothing has been achieved because as we speak now, people are mining, water processing plants are still closed, and we are still struggling, people are still struggling to get access to good drinking water. And then you said you have the will to stop Galamsey in a week if Ghanaians should vote for you. At this point, we are just moving around in circles. What we want is for Galamsey to stop. What you promised Ghanaians is what we are demanding for. We are also trying to find out the best ways that the government can stop Galamsey in a week. But if you come up here saying that, and then the president met the CSOs and so many, they did a presentation, that is not what we want to hear. Before you came to power, you said so many things that you said you can do to stop Galamsey. You had a lot of ideas that you had. Even your ministers came out to talk about it. That is what we are asking you to do for the people of Ghana. But if you sit here and you said you met CSOs and this and this and that, no. That is not solving the issues for Ghanaians. That is not what we want to hear. We want to know what is happening to the state of emergency. You said, yes, you pressured the previous government to call for a state of emergency. Why are you not calling for a state of emergency, but we are rather calling for CEOs? You wouldn't even give them the opportunity to also air their views or ask the right questions. But then you just close the meeting with the presentation and that was it. That doesn't solve any issue. Our railway lines are being destroyed. These are the questions that we are asking. Like I said the other day, we had our water turbidity level around 14,000, and now it's up to 94,000. That is what we should be concerned about. What are the quick measures? What are we doing? Because after a week that you had the meeting, we haven't seen any significant change with the fight against Galamsey. That is what I am saying. We haven't seen anything. It's just the talks. Like I said, we will go back and come back in a year, and then we'll still have the same situation at our feet. Nothing has been done. What happened to the state of emergency? Are we happy? Is the government happy that people are losing their kids? People are losing their pregnancies? Is the government happy that water processing plants have been closed? Is there no urgency? Or they think, and even with the parliamentary, with the chief of, you mentioned, with the parliament not convening.
The speaker of parliament.
Right. At the end of the day, if it is very urgent, they can call for a meeting and then pass the law, right? But then why are they not doing it? They are giving the Galamseyers another field day, a holiday to play. Till they come back, we don't know when this thing is going to happen. Are we really serious? Is there any urgency? Because if it is very urgent, like she said, that everybody wants to do the right thing, then why is this happening? Why are they going on break indefinitely? So it means that we should just sit there and wait. If they are not coming back, nothing is being done. But then you said you have the will. If the president has the will to stop Galamsey in 1 week. That is what we want. If you have the will, why are we going around in circles? The right thing needs to be done. So for me, I think that NDC, with the fight against Galamsey, I will still stand on the same grounds I stood last week. The NDC has failed. They have not been able to fight Galamsey. They lied to Ghanaians for them to come to power, because with the kind of energy they used, with the kind of promises, with the kind of ideas they gave Ghanaians, we shouldn't be doing this at this time. We shouldn't be going around in circles. We shouldn't be putting people in that area in this what we call it despair, because they are not able to get what we call it the right access to water. Is very bad. So at this point, we shouldn't be having this conversation.
Are we saying that the destruction of the water bodies and forest reserves started today? In any case,
no, I'm not saying...
under the previous administration was when there was a leeway to go into forest reserves under the LI, the introduction of the LI.
You know, there are, what we call it, there are some reserves that were meant for gold mines, like, you understand. So those, I believe those were, the LI was for those gold reserves, for people to mine at the right places, okay? But then, if you make it look like they did it in a way that people can just go in the forest to mine, then that is wrong. I mean, it was for the gold reserve. We have gold fields mining in our country. We have Newmonts. We have all these people mining. And they are mining at the right places and making sure the right measures are put in place. So if they have to replant or cover up the earth, they are doing that. So it is not like an opportunity for people to just go in there.
Even with that,
right.
Data and pictures have shown us that that was not done. That was why environmentalist groups, the likes of Ken Ashigbe, the likes of Arosha Ghana, the likes of Edem Sinano, called for the repeal of that LI, because what was supposed to be done was not done in the past.
Okay, so that was the disadvantage of it. And then, yes, we now have a new government, like they said. We didn't get it right. And yes, Ghanaians voted out of power. But then we had the other side. Like I said, I'll still stand on that point. We had an issue. There was a disadvantage. It was meant for the right purposes, but then people took advantage of it and they were doing the wrong things. And then they were asked to repeal, yes. At this point, we had the other side saying, okay, we have this thing, we want to do it better. So give us the opportunity to do it. We will reset Ghana. That's the assurance that we got. That is why the good people of Ghana decided that, okay, let's vote NPP out of power and then bring NDC. They have the knowledge, they have the people to make sure the right thing is done. And then we are here, you have the opportunity to pass it, and then what are we doing? We are taking a break indefinitely. If this is if this is like something that is urgent to the president, we shouldn't be here at this point. And like I said, he said I will still use that statement. the president has the will to stop Galamsey in 1 week. At the end of the day, like I said, good people of Ghana voted you into power. That is what we want to hear. We don't want to hear the back and forth because, yes, there was a disadvantage. We were not able to do it. And then you have been handed over. And you said you could do it as quickly as possible to the extent of signing a 120 days contract with Ghanaians. We should be able to hold the government accountable. We should be able to hold them accountable. We shouldn't say, okay, they are in power, they are new, it's Naima, it was happening. They said they could do it. That is why we gave them the power. So I don't think we should be having this discussion. We should be calling, and I said, CSOs, you heard the feedback from Kenashigbe. They were not given the chance to ask the president the questions. What will trigger the state of emergency? They were not given the opportunity. So like I said, it was just for the optics. Like I said last week, because what did they go there to do? They went to have like a meeting to discuss but if you go for a meeting, you are not able to ask your questions, you are not able to get timelines for the things that the government is saying they will do. Then what was the essence of the meeting? It was zero, nothing. Because at the end of the day, whatever answers you people were fighting for didn't get your solution to it. You went there, and you came out empty, like how you went in. Because if you heard what he said, there were no timelines to the actions that the government said they were going to take, and they weren't able to get the opportunity to ask the questions. So then why did they go there? For them to just tell them what they want to do without also hearing from the other side? Then it was just for the optics.
But did you watch the session?
I watched a part of it.
Okay, because they were allowed time to ask questions. Yes. Maybe they needed more time. But if you say they did not allow them to ask questions, it was shown on live television. They were allowed to ask questions,
but they didn't ask. They didn't get more time. Like I said, more time to ask questions. Yes, you just prompted me. They didn't get more time, and it was from the feedback we got from some of the CSOs. That was what they said. It was in the news. I don't know if you heard it. That was what they said, that they wanted more time. So if you have called them to have that meeting with them, if the president cares, is an agency, the president wants to do this and all that, you should give them the time to to ask the questions, give them the feedback that they want, give them the timelines that the government is going to do A, B, and C. You get it? But you cannot just go there and then you throw anything at them and you give them a few minutes to ask questions and then that is done. And they come back and they feel like, oh, we didn't go there to do it. It's empty. We didn't go there to do anything. So for me, I will still say that they have failed Ghanaians. The 120 days contract, we are now in the 9th month. They failed on that. The president has the will to call off Galamsey in a week. They failed on that. We are going to pass the bill to repeal the airline. They failed on that because the parliament has gone for a break indefinitely. We don't know when they are coming back. So this should tell you clearly that there's no urgency. They do not want to fight it. They will play around it and we'll still come back in a year and we are still where we are. People are struggling, no access to good water, children, food are being contaminated. So if the president really cares about the health of Ghanaians, this should be done in a week. That is what I think.
Rosamond, she says that the president has a difficulty in the declaration of a state of emergency. What's the difficulty? Is there a difficulty in declaring a state of emergency?
Let me quickly clarify this before I move on to what our position is on a state of emergency. She kept on saying she's not seeing anything. She expects an abrupt solution to the Galamsey process.
That is what you said.
That is what, please let me speak. Please, you don't interrupt me when I'm speaking. So that is what she said. And I asked myself, we were this country for 4 good years. Galamsey was not being fought. Do you know why? Because
you think Galamsey was not being fought?
Nothing was being done about Galamsey because after the 2020 elections, after a term of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, Nana Addo told us that he lost parliamentary seat. And so he gives up on the fight.
Was that what he said
decided not to do anything about the Galamsey amendments. So what will happen to the environment? When for 4 good years, nothing is being done about the Galamsey. For 4 good years. Additionally, within that same time frame, you give people legitimacy to destroy the forest reserves. What do you expect? What would be the outcome? And there was also a bit of, they're not comprehending the need to meet with CSOs. We listen. Years back, you could not express yourself or even talk about galamsey in this country. Why? Because you would be slapped. You would be beaten.
By who?
By the people who are corporate.
Okay.
The people who are doing the galamsey are political, in quote, bigots. And so they had the protection of the government. How dare a citizen tell them or question them or query them to stop the galamsey? You dare not tell a women's organizer of the MPP, Madam Kejemfo, to stop doing galamsey. In what capacity? When she has the backing of the president.
But do you have evidence to the fact that she was doing galamsey?
Of course. Lily, this is an open truth. It was just so obvious. She was caught on tape saying that party hiesika, party needs money, so let's destroy the environment. And so for 4 years, nothing was being done about galamsey. They were issuing mining licenses like candies. Because how do you explain that from 1988 to 2016, mining licenses that have been issued were not even close to 100. They were about 98 or 99. But from 2017, when the MPP took power, to 2024, mining licenses over 2,151 have been issued. How do you explain that? Do we need a soothsayer to tell us what the intent was? Of course, they said they needed money and they were going to destroy the environment. And they were going to satisfy their greed. They did not care. And so we had not seen what we are seeing today. It is beautiful for a president to engage CSOs. CSOs could not even speak. How dare you? When people are benefiting from the proceeds of galamsey. So everybody was quiet. Nobody could speak about it. But now it takes a listening president. And the bit on the social contract, this is what I said. We had a social contract with people of Ghana when they gave us the mandate. When they threw away the past government and told us that we have confidence in the Mahama government. Come and do right by us. That is the social contract I'm talking about. And President Mahama will never betray that contract. That is the social contract I'm talking about. The 120-day social contract is a subset of the social contract that President Mahama would not betray. Because when Ghanaians went to the polls, they made a clear statement that we are done with this garbage. We want the Mahama government. We want to see a change. We want a reset. And that is what they voted for. And that is the social contract I'm talking about. And so if you have a social contract with the Ghanaian people, and you engage your COS, who are stakeholders, who are representatives of a section of Ghanaians, it means you respect the Ghanaian people. It means you are committed and you have the political will. You have not given up on the fight. In any case, somebody did not do anything within the 4 years. In total, within 8 years. And you come in. How do you tell the waters to bloom within 8 months? This is common sense. It will take time. And it will take time.
But that is not what you told the people, good people of Ghana when you were campaigning.
About the bit of the state of galamsey, I think that is where you want the state of emergency. We said it to them because it was very necessary. Why was it necessary? You have failed at all your supposed action plans, all the slogans, Operation Halt, Operation Vanguard, Operation this. And let me tell you one thing. And the MPP know I know. The MPP as a party, they are very good when it comes to slogans. It boosts their ego. They derive joy in it because they think that that is the only way they can deceive Ghanaians. Okay. And so that is what they did. And let me say this, when they banned mining, when they came into office in April in 2017, the banning was not because there was a plan for the Galamsey. The banning was because the MPP was clueless. We want power. We don't know how to go about this. Okay, let's just put it on hold and see, how we can go about it. And it was also another strategy for them to come out with greedy ways of degrading the environment. Okay. And I say so because after the mining, we all could attest to how Galamsey escalated. It went to its peak, as if nothing had been done, as if there was not any break whatsoever. That was the time, the 2-year period was the time they were hatching, plotting, doing the unthinkable to make sure that as soon as we left it, we are in the mood to get every money we are looking for as far as our mineral resources are concerned. And that is what they did. And so if you failed after banning, you failed with all the slogans, you have failed to implement an action within all these years. You are closing up on your 8-year term. I think we have every right to tell you to declare a state of emergency because you have failed woefully to put any plan into action. So it was valid then. And the two scenarios are not the same. The two scenarios are not the same. You failed to do something within 8 years. We are now coming to avert the harm. And we came in with a plan. We came in with plans. And those are the plans, some of the plans are the ones I've reiterated in my first submission. So we have a plan. We are on course. We are on it. And so the state of emergency becomes our last resort. Let us put our plans into action. And we are on course. And the CSOs, Ghanaians, the people we are accountable to. I'm not saying MPP people are not Ghanaians. Of course they are. But there are people who are stubborn, who have failed at this, and want all of us to be in the same pool. I'm sorry to tell them, we will not be in the same pool. We have action plans, and we are going according to the action plans. And Ghanaians appreciate the action plan. And the president has said that I'm committed to it. And so, the state of emergency will become our last resort. Okay. How difficult is it for anybody to understand? Okay. And that is, so there's a clear disparity between what some members of my party, I even wish I had said, because I would have stood by it. We told you to call for a state of emergency because you failed. So call for it because you have failed in executing your plans. So that is just it. So the two scenarios are clearly different. That is what I want to say, please.
Okay, let me come in.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So I think she was a bit rude. I mean, like, we are having a conversation, so you don't say, you don't speak when I'm speaking. At least I've come here and I've had conversations, and then you can prompt me that, oh, she is speaking. But to do that, I think it's rude, and she shouldn't do that. I think we are having a conversation. We are not here to fight. We are all bringing our ideas. So that's my take. She should calm down when it comes to this thing. We are not fighting. So for her saying MPP wanted to destroy the environment and all that, I think last week we spoke about the measures that were put in place. The Galamsey fight is not just from where I'm coming from what I've seen. From me going to all the different areas, I've been to the Galamsey sites myself. I think it's yes, I've gone through all I went to 270 constituencies with Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, so I got to see what the Galamsey people...
It goes to say you're supporting Dr. Baumia.
Yes, I'm supporting. I said it here last week, and I'm saying it here. I'm supporting.
You haven't changed your mind?
No, I haven't changed my mind. And yesterday he celebrated his birthday. It was a good time. I mean, I wasn't there. I wasn't in the office, but I saw the videos, and I think it was a good one. I've been there, and I think It's people wake up, like how you wake up, you dress and you come to work. That is how people in the Galamsey areas also wake up and dress to go to work, because that is what they survive on. So you cannot just say you are getting up to take what they are likely. You have to put measures in place to make sure that after whatever is done, they are also feeding, right? So Nana Akufo-Addo put a lot of measures in place. And then it was working. We had people from the NDC going to these Galamsey sites to use Galamsey as a campaign message to tell them, oh, when Mahama comes to power, he was going to give them access to mine and also release people who have been put in the prisons for Galamsey. So people were excited about it. Oh, we are getting somebody who is going to even help us to mine. And then you go back and say, okay, when you vote us back, we are resetting Ghana, we are signing a contract and all that, and our own people, your own people, you're mentioning Kate Jane, she doesn't have any evidence. But here we have the Attorney General, their Attorney General mentioning the names of Joseph Yamin, that's the youth organizer for the NDC, and mention Abanga. I'm not saying it.
The vice chair.
I am not saying it. From their own Attorney General, mentioning these names are people who are in Galamsey, who are doing Galamsey, who are destroying lands, who are also, they are destroying our forests and our lands. And you sit here to mention this. Is this the reset? Your own people are out there doing it. You use this as a campaign message for Ghanaians to vote for you, and you come here to say...
But you also didn't use it as a campaign message?
No, MPP never used it as a campaign message.
So let's watch this video.
Nanka ya court, nanka ya stop it, Galamsey for nanka ya losing your seat. Ya stop you amona. Ya stop you amochina. Now
so this is from Ashanti region that he said they wouldn't stop the Galamsey. Okay, so I think we are taking this out of context. You know, there was a story, I've forgotten the story.
Okay.
There was a story before this was said. I think Napo was there and then it became a whole... Something happened, I've forgotten the backstory. If you remember, you can remind me.
Well, I do not remember, but this is what I have seen.
But then this was taken out of context, I believe. This was taken out of context. This was 2024 elections. And I know in the heat of the moment, something happened and then this video came up. This video came up because they were giving them, I think... I will try and get the story.
Okay.
But then, I know this video is taken out of context. There was a story before this came up. But then, like I said, if you have the video of the NDC person, I've forgotten his name, in the pit with the people, also telling them this and this and that, then I think it would be fair. If you can get whoever pulled this video out, if the person can pull that video out, I think it would be fair because I just mentioned it.
Which NDC person? If you can get me a name,
I will get you a name. I will get you a name. So I think this video, this particular video that was played right now, was taken out of context. I don't know what happened. I've forgotten, but there was a reason why this thing was said. But let's say okay, fine. We have used it as a campaign message. You just played it back to me. But I know this video was taken out of context. I'll try and get the story and then we'll come back to it.
Okay, that's fine.
But fine, we are done with this.
And you don't think that the NDC person's video was equally taken out of context?
No, but we saw it was a full video with them campaigning, talking to them.
Okay.
It was not just a short video like this.
Campaigning that.
He was campaigning that they should vote for the NDC to come to power and then they will give them the opportunity to mine. And then I think there was one that he said that when President Mahama comes, he would give, he will bring out all those that were arrested. He was going to give them amnesty for them to come out of the prisons.
But it's been 10 months, almost 10 months.
They've given, he has given some, he's pull some people out of prison, right?
Those people
are you sure those people are not part? Do you have the data?
Those people are not.
Do you have the data?
There was a report to that effect.
I think we have to pull the data and check the names to see before we can conclude that they were not part, because we don't have the data, we don't have the names, so we cannot say they were not part of it. Maybe some of them were part of it, but we are missing the data. So I think we should go and look at it and see if they were part or they were not part. But for me, after everything is said and done, we have someone who promised us this. I think we are trying to miss that. He promised us this. He said, give me the power, and I'm going to do A, B, C, and D. We don't have to be doing this, like I said. We don't have to be going round in circles. We have the solution. That is why we voted you in power. Like I said, we had some disadvantages. We had good plans to do A, B, C, and D, and then it didn't work out. And then we disadvantaged, like I said. Now Ghanaians have voted MPP out of power. She said, oh, they voted us. We are okay, they voted us. But now you are here. We are also Ghanaians. MPP are not aliens. They are not from another country. We are Ghanaians. I'm sure there are people who are living in the central region are also going through the same hardship, like I said. So we also have the right to speak. You cannot tell us that we had a disadvantage, we had issues, so then we cannot talk about issues happening in Ghana. That is not right. We will still hold the government accountable because, yes, you said this and this can be done. Why are you not doing it? Why are we going around in circles? Why are we not doing the right things? 1 week, we are in 9 months, you can do it. So do it. We have the right to also speak as Ghanaians. That is what I think.
Okay. All right, let's talk about Chairman Wontumi. Chairman Wontumi,
right?
Since it's a bit related, but
yes,
as a standalone subject.
Sure.
He was questioned, he was taken to court, denied bail because he failed to meet the bail conditions. Two separate events. One on 7 charges out of 6 charges, cumulatively 25 million cedis. One was 15 million, the other was 10 million. Yesterday he spent the night in police custody. And I have seen a number of concerns by some members of the NPP and even his lawyer that the bail conditions are harsh. Do you also think so?
I believe so. Some of them, I'm sure we've seen all the arrests that has been done and the bail conditions that have been given to these people too. And I think that it's too much for them. What I've forgotten, let me just frame. The first one, when he was arrested, they wanted some documents. Then it took some of the NPP people to come up with that document. That was unheard of because people were ready to come, but then the document that they were supposed to provide was just out of the moon. They couldn't get it anywhere. And they are still doing that because I think it is deliberate. I think it's just pure witch hunting because why would you give somebody these conditions when you know very well that it will be difficult for the person to meet the conditions? For me, I think with the Chairman Wuntumi's case, it's just pure witch hunting. Even with the charges, what they are telling Ghanaians that he has done. We have people that I mentioned earlier, who have been mentioned, who have been named that they are doing the same things, but they are working freely. They have not been even
which persons
mentioned.
Which names
I just mentioned the youth organizer the NDC.
But if you'd recall, as far back as 2022, there was a petition for the arrest of Chairman Wontumi. And these persons are not known NDC persons. You mentioned Engineer Ken Ashibe. He's one of the leading persons of this petition. Adam Senanu, a co-chair of the Citizens Movement Against Corruption. There were two on the top of my head, the leading persons for the petition for the arrest of Chairman Wontumi. So you think that this is witch hunting?
For me, with the bail conditions that they said, fine, they have arrested him, he's going to go through the processes. If at the end of the day, if they find him guilty, why not? Because he will go through the processes. But then the conditions that are being given to him, I think it is not right. That is why I call it pure witch hunting. That is what I believe. Yes, they put a petition out in 2022, and now we are in 2025. They have arrested him. But then I think that still the bail conditions that they are giving him, it is not right. I think that they are just doing it to frustrate him, to do all that, because we have people in a similar situation. Names have been mentioned, but they are working freely. Nobody has been called. Nobody has been arrested to even question them on that. But they are working freely. Even though, yes, that has been passed, I don't know the processes that went on in 2022, but we are in 2025, and we are still pushing this. But then there are people on the other side doing the same thing. Why are they just walking around? Nobody has been called. their own, like I said, their own Attorney General mentioned their names, but these people are working
The
freely.
Attorney General said they are under investigation.
They are under investigation.
For them to be investigated. Now, if Chairman Wontumi has been under investigation for 3 years, you don't think that by now they have concrete
that
evidence?
That is what I said. It's what do we call it? It's a process. It's a process. So fine. But then you mentioned about the bail conditions, and you know that this is too much.
You think Chairman Wontumi cannot find 3 sureties and in the 15 million, the 10 million,
no, you know,
the 15 million,
he has been arrested
sureties
before, right? And then they had people coming out to do that for him, and then you arrest him a second time with this.
And yes, whole mayor. Somebody who touted himself a mayor, or somebody who touted himself a rich man, you think he could not find 5 sureties?
At the end of the day, he is not doing it himself. He has to look for other people to do it for him. But it is not. That's what I'm saying. That
a rich man, he doesn't have friends
he's
who are
a
equally
rich man. But you see, maybe if he was supposed to provide it, maybe he would be able to do that. But at this juncture, I don't know his circle of friends. I don't know his circle of friends. Some people would like to move solo. I don't know, but I don't know his circle of friends, so I cannot say that he doesn't have people to. But let's say if it's up to him, maybe he would have been able to provide it. But then, if you say his family or friends should do that, then maybe that is where he'll be lacking. Because for us, we don't know his personal engagement or his group of people that he moves with. So that one, I cannot determine that. But for me, I think that it is too much. You did it the first time. Some people came through for him. I know this second one too. I'm sure people will come through for him. But we cannot say that because he said he was a mayor and all that, he should be able to do that. No. And I think that is not right. Yes,
but you know the bail conditions under the Criminal Procedure Act under Act 30 is at the discretion of the court, right?
Yes.
And then there are certain factors involved, like a flight risk, the nature of the offense.
But I will still maintain that it is still too much, and it is pure witch hunting. That is what I think.
Okay. Rosemond, they say that the NDC is witch hunting their mayor, for want of a better expression.
That is very false. You know why? And I'm very happy you reiterated that the case started in 2022. Do you know that the Minister for Land and Natural Resources, Honorable Abu-Jinapor,
at the time
nearly lost his job?
Why?
Because of Chairman Wontumi and Akonta Manye. You know, he called Chairman Wontumi out. He called Akonta Manye out that they don't have what it takes to mine in the forest reserves. Also, that he was involved in illegal mining. That is what Honorable Jinapor did. And then we had our President Anado coming out clearly on the platform to say that Akonta Mining is clean. What did he seek to do? He sought to clear or to clean up Chairman Wontumi.
You don't think he said that based on the information he had at hand?
No. You have a sector minister who is making sure that the right thing is done. Who is investigating Akonta Mining, who perhaps briefs you, who knows his stuff. But because allegedly you were receiving proceeds of Akonta Mining.
I'm glad you added allegedly.
Allegedly. You sought to protect Chairman Wontumi. And let me also say this.
But if
allegedly...
do you have evidence to that fact?
You know that I have been on the other side. But for us to have a difficult conversation, I'm still going to use allegedly. Akonta Mining and Chairman Wontumi, they were one of the major sponsors of Dr. Bawumia's campaign.
We're hearing otherwise. I mean, not to cut you, but I've equally heard from some quarters, like Dr. Barney Champon, for instance, say he was one of the major sponsors. So how is that?
I said he was one of the major sponsors of Dr. Bawumia.
And you know this on paper, that you know how much he was involved?
He was one of the major money in jute bags. He was sponsoring the campaign. And so he was an asset to them. And so they did not care about the consequence. And that is why the President Anado sought to clean Akonta Mining up. And even after that, Honorable Jinapor came back to say that Akonta mining, whatever the president has said, does not mean we are going to stop with our investigation. Or it doesn't clear you of the wrong we are investigating you for. That is what Honorable Jenapo told Akonta mining and to me. So it was like a tussle. So he nearly lost his job because he was after a darling boy of Nanado. And somebody who feeds the chickens, who brings in the feed. And so he was quite untouchable. That is also, so it is not witch hunting because MPP's minister, Honorable Jenapo, was the one who was probing him. Was NDC in government then? Of course not. Honorable Jenapo nearly lost his job because he was investigating Akonta mining and Chairman Wontumi. And Chairman Wontumi was being protected because of what he was bringing into the campaign and into the president's pocket.
But these are all allegations.
And so that is the reason why the investigation was brought to a halt. It was concealed. Until a few weeks ago, you heard the Attorney General said the file was just brought to him again. Did you hear about that? They concealed it. Because you dare not touch Akonta mining and Chairman Wontumi. He's the one bringing in the money. How dare you, Minister?
You think that Chairman Wontumi was that rich to finance a whole party like the New Patriotic Party?
He was after the mineral resource illegally. And so it brings in the money.
But he has once said that the difference between illegal and legal is documented. He has a document.
Let me say this. He had registered Akonta mining as a mining company. Okay. However, he was always crossing his concession. He was not sticking to
what was on paper.
What was on paper.
Okay.
Now let me go briefly into this. He's been, investigated or prosecuted in the process because of two cases. First of all, in April, our NIMOS, our active NIMOS, ran an operation. And they arrested 29 people, 29 excavators, cash, gold, at Saribua. I don't know if that is the correct... Summer Boy, yes. And a gentleman called Michael, among the 29 people, was queried. And he mentioned another gentleman called Henry. And Henry said, please, I give up. Chairman Wontumi was the one who brought me on board. I've been working for him since last year. And even I had worked for him in previous times. He is the one giving me the permission to destroy the land. And so we took all of them in. And that was the trace. And so if the MPP or people are questioning our commitment to sort after the kingpins, this is a clear example. Because we did a clear tracing to know that Chairman Wontumi was the one behind that particular devastation.
Okay.
Now, the second case that is against him. He was mining in our forest reserve. That is the Tano
Nimri Forest.
Exactly. And nobody has given him permission to mine in that area. But he did it with impunity because his government was in power and he had a president and a potential president backing him. And so he did not fear to do that. Because in 2022, his side was raided, that particular forest. And the Forest Commission went there. And what did they do to them? They seized their items. And the people there, the armed men there, beat the Forest Commission people and took their items back.
You don't think that's because these illegal miners are heavily armed and being emboldened? It's not just under the previous administration. Even now, these illegal miners are still emboldened.
We are speaking to Chairman Wontumi, and that is what he did to that particular forest. And so if today he is being taken through the process to ascertain guilty or not, now he's pleaded not guilty. it's the law is going to be the law. The evidence is there. The Attorney General have the docket. We have everything on him. Something that was started by his own minister, Abu Jinapo. And it was so sad when Abu Jinapo nearly lost his job because he decided to pursue the truth. And that is the MPP party for you. If you decide to pursue the truth, if you decide to speak truth to power, something terrible will happen to you. Later, he gave up on the fight. And that is Abu Jinapo. He gave up on the fight. But God being so good, and our commitment to finding and fishing out the kingpins, the people who are destroying the environment. We are after him now. We have the file. We are going to make sure that once we prove he is guilty, he is going to face a jail term.
Is it just Chairman Wontumi that you have a dossier on, or you have others?
We have others.
And in the NDC as well. Because we cannot say that it is just members of the NPP who are into Galamsey.
Yeah. With Chairman Wontumi's issue, there are key people, in the triangle, or it's even more than a triangle. There are 5 people. He has a gentleman called Kwame Entry. We are yet to even ascertain if he exists or not.
We understand he's at large.
He's at large, of course. You see what they did to us. There's one Edward Okweku, who was a manager, I'm told. And there's one Owusu Bempa, who was also an operations manager. And the Akonta mining as an entity. This key, people, and the entity as Akonta mining are being looked at. They are currently facing this. And that should serve as a deterrent to anybody, even in the NDC. Because our president is committed to the fight. And so once you would not abide by his commitment and his willpower to fight the state, you will be fished out. And so she even clearly mentioned some 2 people. Did we ever see something like that in the MPP? No.
Of course. We saw that.
Did we ever see people involved in Galamsey being, investigated?
Yes.
Honorable
there was investigation, but eventually there was.
Yeah, the point is that Honorable Jinapo started the fight. But he was warned by the president that you have to stop, otherwise I'm going to take you away. Chairman Wontumi is my darling boy. He is a major financier to Dr. Bawumia's campaign. Please, put the brakes on. And just conceal it. And that is why it was concealed. And that is why we have unveiled it now. And we will pursue to the latter. And so the kingpins, they should serve as a deterrent.
Even kingpins within the NDC?
In the NDC. Businessmen. Whoever you are, the people who are behind those young, chaps who are facing bread and butter issues, giving them peanuts, taking all the money, allowing the young people to destroy the land. Those are the people we are talking about, the kingpins.
Galamsey is destroying our water bodies, our food security is under threat. And even yesterday, there was a report by the Food and Agriculture Organization about Ghana's food security. What is the alternative for these young people? I'm sure you know that they are in there for jobs.
Yes, we are very much aware that they are in it because of the bread and butter issue. Because Galamsey or mining is an economy. And so we are very mindful of that. And that is why we have introduced the skills development. And cooperative mining. That is why we have introduced that. And even proud to arriving at that. If you saw the minister with his team going to a lot of the communities, they were engaging the stakeholders, the chiefs, the people involved in the mining, the people at the front, to really get their perspective on what they may want to do or what they consider as an alternative if we take the illegality away from them. And so we've engaged them. I think we've done over 30 communities, over 6 regions. We've done quite a good number. And so, coupled with that, and also reviewing the Mineral and Mining Act, we are making sure that we provide them with a good alternative, a decent alternative, an alternative that will be welcoming, that will be receptible to them. And so we are on course with that. And I'm just praying and hoping that with the stakeholder engagement, the education we've given to them, they would understand the replication of how Galamsey has destroyed the very soul and fiber of our nation. Because if they don't get the understanding, whatever we give to them as an alternative, they will not receive it. Absolutely. And that is my prayer every day, that they need to understand what it means to be in this dangerous economy. Yes.
Okay. I see that you're nodding a lot, so you have. I just have about a minute to go.
I just wanted to say something. She said she has been on the other side. The fact that she was on the other side doesn't mean she has all the information or details to everything that happened in the party. You can be on the other side, you can have your own narrative, but then that might not be the truth. She sat here saying that she knows that Chairman Wontumi was the financier for Bawumia. That is false. A lot of people supported the party to go for the election. So you cannot sit here and say without any evidence or nothing to show and just sit on TV and say that Chairman Wontumi was coming to the campaign with sacks of money and all that. That is false. The fact that you were there doesn't mean that you have information. And it can even be that what you are saying here is false. Because you were with them as a main core team member of the campaign, and then within some few months the election you switch to the other side. So why should we even sit here and trust what you are saying? It can be that you have even cooked up the story to come and tell Ghanaians, because I think from our side your credibility is questionable, because at the end of the day you cannot sit here and cook up a story and tell Ghanaians because you were on the other side. Why didn't you stay on the other side? But you decide to just move away a few minutes, a few seconds or whatever to elections. So with the story that she said, and then somebody met Chairman Wontumi, somebody who worked there and said Chairman Wontumi is the one. You can just meet anybody and I will say, Lily told me to do A, B, C, and D. We don't have the facts out. Ghanaians are not aware of whatever story she is saying over here. So if you come and sit here and cook up a story for us to believe because you said you were on the other side, and I'm sorry, I'm telling Ghanaians, whatever she's saying here is false. We don't have evidence. You don't have any concrete evidence to say that Chairman Wontumi was financing Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's campaign. That is false. So please, anybody listening to me, if we don't have the facts, please do not believe the story that has been said here. That is what I will say about that.
Rosemond, do you have anything to say before I wrap up?
I think that we have a social contract with Ghanaians. And what they are looking out for is our commitment. And we have proved that commitment over time within this past few months. And the president reinforced it by meeting the CSOs. And we could tell from the ambience, from the dialogue, that they were very impressed with the process. And so we have not given up. We are very committed. We have the political will. We are the people they voted for. We are the people to give them the result. They should trust that President John Dramani Mahama will not betray their trust.
Because she spoke a lot before you came to me, and she spoke a lot before you came to me.
No, but you spoke first.
Yes, but you were closing with her. So let me also...
No, but I came to you for a rebuttal.
Yes, exactly, but you're closing with her. You're giving her time to close.
Yes, I gave you a time. I gave her a time.
So let me just close. We said...
That it means that you have cheated her.
No, I haven't.
You have.
Because she was talking, you gave me a time to talk, but then she's closing. I need to also close at
you
least.
spoke first on the Galamsey. I came to her for a response. I came to you for a rebuttal.
Yeah, for what I had to respond to. I had to respond to what she was saying. But then for what she said, the allegation that she made, that Chairman Wontumi this and this
but
and
you
that.
responded to that.
Yes, but then she's closing, so I have to close too.
No,
she's
but that's why I gave you.
No, but then you said you called her and asked her if she should summarize everything. I think I should also get that.
Okay, 30 seconds.
Exactly. So sorry. I'm saying that, yes, she said they had a social contract. Ghanaians also want to see that the right thing is being done. That 1 week that they gave Ghanaians that they can stop galamsey, we are looking forward to it because people are struggling. Their people are also doing galamsey. Tano MC, the Tano MP, the woman Joanna Kujo is also there.
That's not Tano MP. That's Amenfi West.
Amenfi West, yes. All these people are out there. So if they want to use Chairman Wontemi's case as a deterrent to other people, they should start investigating and calling people that are also in their party that we know are doing galamsey.
If you say you know, then you should be able to mention their names and put it out there because you cannot make a blanket statement.
Sorry, that's what I'm saying, that they have mentioned
But
them.
you say you know. If you say you know, then you should be able to
I know
names.
because they have put their names out there. Like the
But no, that is under investigation.
Okay,
that is
under investigation. Sorry, under investigation.
Okay, thank you, my
make
darling.
sure that they do that.
That's Grace Akosua-Moabeng. She's a member of the NPP communications team, and Rosemond Obenge is a presidential staffer and a member of the NDC communications team. My name is Lily Mohammed. I am back. I told you today is an all-female ensemble. I have another woman joining me for her talk after this. Stay with me. welcome back to the show. I told you today is an all-female ensemble, and it's now time for Hard Talk. On Hard Talk this morning, I've been joined by the Municipal Chief Executive for the Wenchi Municipality, Gloria Opoku-Gyamfi. Good morning, how are you?
Good morning, I'm doing well, my sister.
It's good to have you here. How is Buzia's Wenchi doing?
Buzia's Wenchi is doing well by the name Buzia, because our father, Buzia, has left a very good legacy in Ghana, and that brings the name Wenchi in limelight. But when you come to Wenchi, there's nothing significant to point your hands on as Buzia's Wenchi, because even when you go to his residency, there's nothing good there except his tomb that people normally visit. But I think that for the past 8 years, if the NPP have given him that respect, they could have renovated the place for it to look like a tourist place for people, and it will sell the name higher. Instead of now, the name is even losing its value as Buzia. When you come to Wenchi, it was the first time when he erected some signboard, only signboard, to write a Buzia Street, the street that leads to his residency. And when I saw that growing up, I thought there was going to be something very good for us to call Buzia. But for the MPP, 16 years in power, nothing has been done there as to call Buzia.
So, how has it been for you? You've been in power, not just for you as not just for the NDC government, for you after your endorsement. You've been in administration for 6 months, since April, right?
Yes, please.
How has it been for you after receiving an overwhelming endorsement?
It's been well. It's been well because knowing very well that coming to solve problem, you conscientize yourself and be stable for that. So it's been well so far. There was a lot of sanitation issues in Wenchi, but when I came, we've been able to use the drip machines that was given to us, even when the Zoom Lions vehicles are filled. If they fail and they are not working, we use the drip machines to collect all the refuse in the house, in the community. And in May, the president wanted to launch the sanitation day, which couldn't come on and was postponed. But Wenchi, we didn't relax on it. So far, we have done 5 sanitation for every month since May. And I can say that it has really yielded results. Even when prior to the days that we are supposed to do it, and there has not been announcement, people call. This shows that that message has gone down to the people and everybody is involved, especially the traditional council.
Now, you say that in assuming position, there are a number of challenges. What are these challenges? You just mentioned sanitation. I know that the road infrastructure is a critical challenge for people of Wenchi because it was one of the things that was of concern to your predecessor and even before him.
Yes, road network in Wenchi is very poor, very poor, considering where we are. And Wenchi, the road there, I can say it's one of the international roads because you pass through Wenchiwa to Hamle, then to Burkina. So looking at the roads that we are having in Wenchi, it's very poor, very poor. Inner roads within town, when you go to areas like Boadai, Akonkontiwa, Kamu, sometimes it's even difficult to use motorbike to some areas.
Really? Even on motorbikes?
Very bad. Very bad. But I can sit here and assure the people of Wenchi that our long-time prayers has been answered. Because yesterday I went to the roads minister and I told him all these problems that we are facing, and he assured me that very soon they are going to work on it. In fact, in my presence, he even called the urban roads engineers who are supposed to work on those roads and tasked them to do some road inventory within my municipality and get back to him. So I know that latest by this year, contractors will be on site to start working, even though the main road is under the big push. There's one major road which is much of concern to Wenchi people and myself. That is from Nkonsia Junction to Buoku Junction. That road links to the Sunyani Techimai route. And looking at the big push, that place wasn't captured. But because of the numerous push that we have pushed through my regional minister, my regional chairman, it has gotten up here, and there has been positive response that is coming. So we know that by the end of NDC's 4 years term, roads network in Wenchi is going to improve.
What were the reasons for the non-construction of these roads?
My sister, there wasn't any proper reason when you asked them, because
but there were none stated in the handing over notes to you?
No, nothing, if I can recall.
Okay.
Because when we can recall that the previous administration was much concerned and was always saying that year of roads, meaning about 90% of the road network in Ghana has been improved, but nothing can be seen in my constituency. In fact, it saddened my heart the day the president came to Bono region, Sunyani, and when he was saying goodbye to us, and he mentioned that a road around Wenchi Senior High School, which is my former school, was constructed. In fact, that day I personally drove there to see. Maybe it was constructed overnight and I have not been there. And it was full. That day, 2 cars had accident there.
You mean the former president?
Yes, former president. When he was, in December, when he was going around to exit his tenure, he mentioned that they have constructed some roads in Wenchi around the senior high school, which I went there personally. That day, 2 cars had accident, 2 Kia trucks, which were carrying a charcoal, had accident there. And it just took the intervention of God. Otherwise, because that road is very busy, there are some crèche schools around, and then you see kids, people pride that road every now and then to school. And looking at the extent of that accident, it was very poor. So as soon as I came to power, in fact, my first month, I organized and mobilized the drip machines. Then we went for some lightrite to fill those, I wouldn't say potholes, I would say manholes. We filled that manholes in the road, and then we used the compactor to compact it very well. Now that it's now very much trouble for access. So the year of roads President Akufo-Addo mentioned didn't reflect in my constituency.
Do you have a challenge with drainage as well? I have seen videos of some of your residents complaining about the drainage system in your municipality.
Yes, there are a lot of challenges with the drainage system. Even where the areas where we have drainage, they are very small. And when you compare the years they were constructed and now, population has increased, pressure has increased. So those drains that we are having now cannot even help the people in the community. And we have some new areas, developing areas, like Boadan I mentioned. In fact, the whole municipality, Boadan is the biggest electoral area with 14 different branches there. And when you look at their road networks, and then it's very bad. When it rains within the Boadan and Kokroko electoral area and you don't take care, you'll be easily swept by the rains. Last week, when it rained, I saw some videos and I was very shocked. I couldn't even sleep that day because you could see the pressure, the rains, the erosions were moving. So I assumed that if somebody steps in this, what is going to happen? This year, early this year, when it was raining, a woman and the son were nearly swept off. They were even on motorbikes. So they have to force and hang the guy and let the motorbike go. There was a time Fulani also was trying to rescue his cattle during rains. And the cattle was swept away. Look at the huge size of this cattle, and the erosion carrying it away. So it means that it is nearly a death trap.
So what immediate steps are you taking? Because I engaged the Ghana Meteorological Agency this morning, and according to them, we are to expect more rains before December. It means that a number of your residents will be threatened by it.
Exactly. And that's the reason why I came to Accra this week.
Okay.
Yesterday, I spent close to 30 minutes with the road minister. Okay. And drains were part of the discussion. Even it was the center point of the discussion. Because if we cannot have all road style and we have drains, I think it's going to help some of these dangerous situations in the community. So we are pushing for drains within those areas so that when it rains, it can easily pass the water through the proper channels. And this cannot just be done by any other person, but a technician, a proper engineer who knows where the rain, the erosions can carry these heavy downpours to. So we are working on it. And I am assuring them that very soon, contractors will come and start.
Are you able to give them timelines? If you say very soon, I mean very soon can equally be at the end of the 4-year mandate of President
No,
Mohammed.
very soon means by the end of this year. Because now that it is raining, there's nothing that you can do when
by
it comes to
the end of this year, you have about 2 months to go.
Yes.
And you are sharing the good people of Wenchi.
2 months is enough for John Dramani Mahama government to do something. We were even planning to use the drip machines, especially the grader, to grade those roads and give it erosion. But when we sent engineers there, the advice was that even if we do it now, it will not sustain to any after 2 downpours. So we have to wait till December so that engineers will come and do that. So I am assuring them that in December, they are going to see that our roads are being touched.
And then the issue of youth unemployment is very critical in your area. What specific interventions are you undertaking to mitigate this?
Thank you. Youth unemployment, it's all over in Ghana. But my area, we are working towards it, especially when the launch of National Apprenticeship Program, we took major parts of it, and we made sure that our youth were registered. As I'm speaking with you, every day I receive not less than 20 calls from community members asking when they are to enroll onto the system. The NIP is also doing same, and a lot of youth have been captured. Just last week, my MP, Honorable Alhaji Seydou Haruna, in his previous administration, he did something which we call the women empowerment. And he trained more than 4,000 women in the community. This year, too, we have launched the phase 2 in collaboration with him. And the first day, during the launch, we trained more than 150 women in the community. And this gives them the first-hand help. And even after the training, we are also making sure that we get them the standard boards authority, we register them, and we give them business certificates so that every now and then we screen them and they can produce very well. Quite apart from that, there's also another training that we are giving to the male, which is installation of multi-TV, installation of CCTV cameras and security wires, which is also going on in the community. Last administration, MP did it, and this time too, we are going to launch we are going to launch the second phase in November. So youths are going to be employed more. But we are still calling on the government, and then we hope and believe in him that, as he has mentioned, that lots of interventions that are coming, my youth are going to be part of it. My sister, Wenchi is agric zone. And there are lots of agric prospects in Wenchi. So I was very happy when the Minister for Agric launched the Feed Ghana program. You could see the zeal and the enthusiasm the youth were coming up to organize themselves and register. Now I can mention more than 1,000, even the whole Bunahafo, Wenchi led that initiative. And we have lots of the youth who are into cattle rearing, who are into poultry, and other agric interventions. We have irrigation there, and youth have shown interest to register and start their farms in those areas. We also have Tomacan, which is now being used by another a private investor, and he also proposing to get more youth to work within the municipality. So when you look at agric and other interventions like cashew, when you come to the municipality, you see that the youth are into it. So for Wenchi, the youth are not just looking at the white-collar job, but we are also looking at other ones. Yet the military and other jobs that are coming, they are also into it.
Now, you say that the mainstay of Wenchi is agric and is agric-led. How are you able to attract investments to Wenchi so that there's value addition even for agriculture, for the youth especially?
Yes. For instance, we have the College of Agric in Wenchi, which is also training the youth. And we have some investors who have shown interest in Wenchi. They have come to invest in the Tomacan, as I mentioned, which when you go there, they are much into the production of green farms. So the tomato production and everything. Investors are coming. We are making Wenchi very interesting for agric investors to come. Last week, I had some 3 investors who came in to start with cashew processing plants there. And in collaboration with my chief, or my hene, when they came, I led them to Nana, and Nana also assured them of land to start with that. So this alone gives a positive sign that when you come, we are going to support you. There's no hindrance in the invested coming there. When you come, anything that you show, you come with, and then we evaluate it. We see, after we talk with you, and then we know that it's going to help the municipality and help the people in it. Why not? The chiefs gives that positive sign. So everything that anytime any investor wants to come to Wenchi, we are open and ready to accept them and give them the necessary support to work there for the benefit of the people in Wenchi.
Okay. Another issue is local revenue mobilization for assemblies. Many assemblies have complained that that's a critical challenge. For you, is it a challenge to you, and how are you approaching it?
Yes. When you come to the assemblies, the major challenge is the revenue because of the traditional way of taking the revenue. And Wenchi is not exceptional. But to me, I have spoken with a private person to come and we use the software to collect data of houses within the municipality. And this data, we are going to generate the reminder. We will generate the reminder, and it will be sent to them on their phones. So when it is sent to them, they will know how much they are owing and then how they are going to pay it. And then we are not going to use the hard copy anymore, like the ticketing, which normally gives people the leverage to leak some of these revenues. So we are going to use the software and the PO system in collecting the revenue. With this, we can be assured that most of the revenue that will be collected from the people from Wenchi would come to the assembly, and at the end of the day, it's going to work within the communities for their benefit. So that is what we are going to use. We are not using the old system anymore.
Now, I know leadership at the local level is a challenge, especially for you as a woman. How have you been handling it?
Wenchi has been so far so good, because though I'm a woman and a youth, so you could see how the youth are really supporting this agenda of developing Wenchi. This time around, everyone is involved. No one is left behind. The old, the young are all involved. Nananum, everyone. So whenever you are doing something and you call on anyone, they come up to help in resolving it, be it advice, be it guidance, and even leading you to the necessary areas where you get results. So I can say that so far so good with the help of the good people of Wenchi. It has not been challenged to me so far.
When the Bingi conflict came about, there was a spillover to your municipality. Some of these residents there, do you still have a challenge of people fleeing to Wenchi?
No, for now, they are all gone back. When that happened, we had about 2,048 individuals in the municipality, which were scattered all over. So with the help of the good people of Wenchi and Bono, they helped us to get some relief items, be it clothing, food, and some even sent cash to be given to these people. And all that came were given to the people. The assembly also mobilized some food items, then it was sent to them. The region came and helped. Then the national director, the Director General of NADMO himself was in my municipality. Then we went to these places to meet them. So in a very short time, I think the conflict there was resolved, and the chiefs assured them of their safety. So they went back to their community. So now I can say that even if there are some people still in the community, I can say that there might not be more than 100 in the community. But for the last data I had from the NADMO director, about 90 to 95% of the people who came in were all gone back.
What's your biggest challenge as MC, beyond the road infrastructure, the youth unemployment that you mentioned, sanitation? What's your biggest challenge as MC?
My biggest challenge as an MC is development in my municipality. Apart from these road networks, I want Wenchi to thrive this time round. I want Wenchi to be the Wenchi we know in the 80s. I want Wenchi to have so many developments. When I spoke of Tomakan, and when you listen to the history of Tomakan, you will see that even during vacations, students from all over the country come there to work and earn themselves some money so that they could send back to school when school reopens. But when you come to Wenchi, all these factories have gone down the drains. Private persons that are using it are not able to work on it as the government himself will invest in it. When you come to irrigation, I went there, the land is there, about 150-acre land is there. And now, when you get to the irrigation site, all the machines there has been stolen. So I want the government to revamp these industries so that it will give employment to the youth and people within the Bono and Ahafo regions. So my biggest challenge and my biggest challenge is to get these infrastructures to make Wenchi the better Wenchi that we want.
What's your relationship with the Member of Parliament for the area?
A very cordial relationship. My MP, I always call him my MP. Sometimes I call him Ankamo, which means my teacher. So it means that we have that cordial relationship. We are very close, and everything that needs to thrive our area and in development, I discuss with him. Even yesterday, as late as 8 p.m., I called him. We had a lengthy discussion. I told him I will be coming here before I meet him this morning. And after here, I'm going to meet him. So we are that close because of his human nature and his thinking of developing Wenchi. That is the reason. That is what drives me closer to him. Because anytime you're talking with him, he asks you if we have been able to do something significant in a community which we visited. And if we have not done anything, he wouldn't like to go there until he does something. And it pushes him to do it in a very short time. So he's a very good person. And a very good person to be with.
Are you still the patron, the 10th patron of the Al Farouk College?
Yes, I'm still the patron.
Okay. About a little over a month ago, there were a few disturbances, and the students were up in arms against the management over deplorable conditions. Were you able to engage them?
Yes, I personally went to the management to have. I've taught there since 2016 till now. So I've taught there for like 9 years now. I know my students and I know my management. My principal is one of the very cool people which you can walk to his office anytime. Sometimes when he's even relating to students, I feel like, principal, you are doing too much. So I think that though the students had some concern, they could have walked to the principal's office to discuss with him, and everything will be resolved. In fact, interacting with the management, I even got to know that they went there and the principal assured them and even told them to go and bring whatever they want so that the SLC celebration will be done, until he heard that. I met the students, yes, they thought what has happened previous years could happen, but that one was due to the Grassac strike. So they also thought that was going to happen. That's the reason why they went that far. But the students just wanted their voices to be heard, and nothing was spoiled in the school. They only bent some ties, but nothing was spoiled in the school. So after a day or two, things went back to normal, and they had the celebration well in the school.
If the good people of Wenchi are listening to you and watching you this morning, at the end of your stewardship, what do you think they should remember you for?
At the end of my stewardship, I want the good people of Wenchi to remember me for the renovation of our stadium, which wasn't able to have about 1,000 capacity of spectators. But now we are going to 2,000 capacity of spectators, and the place has been renovated well. I also want them to remember me for the good roads that we are going to do for the good people of Wenchi, and traffic light, which has always been the concern of most of the people because of the rate at which there's accidents in some areas. I also want them to remember me for the renovation of our only community center, which was broken down some years in the President Kufuor's administration. And then NDC started from 2012 building it, and it's still there. I want them to remember me for that, because that's a community center, if it is well renovated and is functioning, is going to improve our IGF, and it's going to also give the town a very good image. So I want them to remember me for all the good works that we are going to do, for infrastructure, for jobs for the youth, and then for security in the community. They will have a good security as we used to have in the community.
Oh, so that's the stadium?
Yes, that's the stadium.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. This is how it was.
Okay, so this was before?
This was before.
Okay.
And
this is now. Okay.
Yes, we have been able to purchase some. This is the tunnel. This was the tunnel before, and this was the waiting area.
Okay.
So we have done a lot of it. So this is what we were having as a stand. Even the roofing was ripped off by the rains. Yes. So yes.
You're talking about the people remembering you for security, but I didn't hear you talk about tackling galamsey, which is a security threat.
Yes, that's the reason why I said security. Galamsey, my sister, I mostly don't want to talk about the galamsey because President John Dramani Mahama is doing a very good work in Ghana, a lot of things that we need to remember and commend him on. But if the media, shift our attention to only galamsey, people will not see the good works that he's doing. I think in 2016, same thing was done. And when he left power, that was when some media persons were even told that he was the one who did the Terminal 3 at the airport, and the University of Ghana Medical Center, the Bank of Ghana Medical Center, the Ridge Hospital, and a lot of these infrastructure development that our president did. We were not talking about them. We were talking about Dumso, which was propagated by the NPP. Galamsey, when we look at Galamsey for now, we can see that just 9 months in power, he has
but
done
nobody's
more
talking
than,
about Dumso now because power is stable.
Yes, I'm saying that in 2016, the NPP brought that Jimso as a headline, and that is what everyone was discussing, instead of us going to discuss about the good works that the man has done. Now, they have intentionally brought this Galamsey issue up for us to discuss because...
Are you saying it is the NPP deliberately bringing the Galamsey up? Because a number of CSOs have raised questions about Galamsey. Yesterday, the Food and Agriculture Organization had a cause to raise concerns about Ghana's food security. And so it is not just about the NPP, it is about our survival as a country.
Yes, I understand. It's about our survival as a country. And what I'm saying is that when you look at Galamsey issue and the way at which the president is tackling it now, we have to commend him so that he could get the muscles to do it more.
But at the local level, what are you doing? I mean, I'm sure if all MMDCs tackle Galamsey locally, then the president will have a good sleep at night.
Yes, for my municipality, I heard of some Galamsey issues even before I came to power. So I sent people on grounds to do some investigation for us to identify some areas where they are doing the Galamsey. I went there with the security personnel in the community. We went there and we spent like 4 hours in the zone. But unfortunately, we didn't meet anyone on grounds working because that time there wasn't raining. It wasn't raining, and I don't know whether they had a tip-off or not. We went there to look at it. And still, I have some people on grounds who are picking intel for me. Anytime soon, we will strike again. We have some other zones that there are still people working with. In fact, the regional minister, Honorable Akwabua Esquire, has come there on 2 occasions, not only my municipality, but up to Banda, to have some operations, and we collaborated. We did it together. We are also tackling it my side, and very soon, if I say very soon, it means just within a month that I will strike again within the community, and I think it will come to the televisions for you to hear.
Okay, many say that the president should make the fight against Galamsey one of the KPIs for the MMDCs. Do you agree that it should be made a KPI, and so if you fail, then the president should fire you?
Yes, I think it should. It should be part of our KPI for all MMDCs, especially those who have issues with Galamsey. Because looking at this, it's not everywhere that we have Galamsey issues, so you cannot generalize it. But those of us who are being faced with that, it can be part of our KPI. And looking at how we will tackle it, because Galamsey issue, it's something that we all need to tackle it as a nation. It's not one-man show. It affects everyone. Looking at the chemicals they are using, the devastating they are doing to our lands, even to reclaim the lands, it's a problem. But in my place, I have made it a cause that the areas they tackled we are going to reclaim the land early next year, so that we plant some coconuts and palm fruits there. Those areas, I'm told by the agric director in my municipality that when we grow those, it will do well there. So those areas that they have touched, we are going to do that. And every chief, any chief in the municipality who is heard or caught in the Galamsey will be brought to books. No one is going to spare them. Because my Omahene, Nana Ampim, is part of this fight together. And he has assured that any length that we have to go to get people, the perpetrators, to out, we are going to do that. So any chief within the Wenchi municipality who is caught into Galamsey is going to be brought to books and will find himself in a hot waters.
So the good people of Wenchi, you have heard your MC this morning. That's Gloria Opoku-Jemfi. She is the municipal chief executive for the Wenchi municipality, and she's in Accra. She says she's going to do a lot of lobbying for you. So at the end of this year, expect a lot from her. That is from the horse's own mouth. Thank you very much for coming to our studios. That should do for her talk. I told you that we have a lot of women with goodies on the show today. After this breather, I bring you another one. Yeah, welcome back to the show. This is still GHToday here on GHOne TV. We are your perfect morning companion. It's now time for Health Alert. And I told you earlier that the reason I am in this pink is because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. But we're discussing how science meets advocacy and the genetics of breast cancer this morning. My guest is Dr. Lily. Interestingly, my name, right? Dr. Lily Pemka. She is a molecular geneticist. She is a senior lecturer, Department of Biochemistry, Cell and Molecular Biology, and Deputy Director, West African Genetic Medicine Center at the University of Ghana. Doc, good morning. You're welcome.
Good morning. Thank you very much.
Now, who is a molecular geneticist?
Okay. So, well, that's me.
Yes.
What we do is, molecular geneticist is a geneticist or a scientist who focuses on how genes work. So how the DNA work, how the products, the RNA work, how genes are regulated, how they determine how our traits look, how we understand how traits are passed on, things like how genes work, how mutations work, all of that, how to characterize genes. Basically, that's what a molecular geneticist does. So DNA, so I'm a DNA expert in how genes work to influence our traits, diseases, health, etc.
Now, in tracing how diseases work with our genes, what role do genes play in breast cancer? Since we are in a breast cancer awareness month, first of all, you help us with what breast cancer is and what role does the gene play in breast cancer?
So I'll zoom back a bit and talk about what cancer is. So basically, cancer is a group of diseases where our normal cells don't divide normally. They go rogue, they proliferate uncontrollably, and then they end up spreading and killing you. So as human beings, our DNA, our blueprint, they determine how our cells divide. We start off as a single cell, right? The egg, sperm, they fertilize, they form what is called a zygote, and then the cells start to divide. We are made up of about 30 to 40 trillion cells, and this happens every time the cells divide. So we know it gets to you get to an adult stage where cells need to stop growing, repair, and all of that. All that is regulated by your blueprint, which is your DNA. Now, what happens is there are groups of genes that regulate, determine when cells have to proliferate, when cells have to die. We can broadly group them to tumor suppressor and oncogenes, right? So what happens is when the genes that promote proliferation go rogue, you have what you call gain of function mutations. So now the cells over-proliferate, right? And then we have a set of genes called tumor suppressor genes. They're like bricks. They don't allow the cells to grow too fast. When they lose their function, they're called loss of function mutations. Like BRCA, I've heard of BRCA, for example. So this, in combination, you have a set of mutations now that cause the cells to over-proliferate. They grow too fast and then eventually spread around and kill you. When a situation like that happens in the breast, that's what you call breast cancer. So depending on which tissue or which organ you find it's named after that organ. So it's called breast cancer. So that's why people notice a lump, for example, you have a mass of cells that are over proliferating. And eventually, if it's not taken out, it starts to spread, gets bigger and bigger because the checkpoint systems are not functioning. So that's the importance. That's the importance of genes in breast cancer. Now, beyond underpinning the disease is also important when it comes to treatment. So when you think about precision medicine and things of like that nature, you can actually profile someone's tumor and can help you determine certain medications that work better for that individual.
And what are the risk factors? And what do these risk factors mean scientifically?
Okay. So the biggest risk factor for breast cancer is being a woman. That being said, men also get breast cancer. About 99% of the breast cancer cases are in women, and then 1% are in men. So if you look at the risk factor, being a woman mainly has to do with your biology and then your hormones. As women, we have bigger breasts that are mature. So typically, the cells that develop cancer are what you call the lobules and the tubules. And those are the tissues that produce breast milk, and then, they lead to the nipple for a breastfeeding baby, for example. Women have, you know that we have bigger breasts, and so the biology, having more of that tissue, that's the substrate that causes the cancer. It gives us a higher risk of developing breast cancer. 2, hormones. Women are flushed with estrogen and progesterone, which are female-specific hormones. They are much less in men. And those hormones tend to stimulate breast tissues. So every month you notice that with women, for example, your menstrual cycles, there's a rise and fall, there's a cyclical pattern to the rise and fall in hormones. And the breasts respond to that. You realize at certain times of the month, just before menstruation, the breasts are a little bigger, they're swollen, whatnot, because they're responding to hormones. So they promote proliferation in the breast. So because of that, because there's a lot of proliferation, anytime a cell divides, right, it has to copy the DNA. And then the daughter cells have the same. That's why if you leave any kind of cell at a crime scene, sweat, blood, tears, they will track it right back to you, right? So when that happens so much, it increases the chances of making mistakes when the DNA is copied. When you look at a human being's DNA, you have it's made up of this basic units called nucleotide. There are 6.4 billion of them. So anytime the proliferation is, heightened, the chances of making mistakes are higher. And so the chances of getting mutations in those cells are higher. So that's why, the hormones increase your risk. And aging, our body is such that the cells have this endogenous system where they're able to repair all these mistakes in our DNA. However, as you age, some of these mutations accumulate. It's nothing strange. They accumulate as you age. In addition, the cell's ability to be repairing all those mutations are compromised. So by the time you age, then you have accumulated enough mutations that will cause the cells to transform and become cancerous. Now, they talk about family history. Family members tend to resemble each other because they share the specific parts of their DNA. No two people have the exact same DNA except for identical twins. And it's because they are split from one single egg and sperm, and one zygote, so they're identical. But beyond that, the closer you're related, the more likely you share some genes, parents and kids, and Right. So as you get the relationship, extent, the less you share. So that's why they mentioned that it's one of the risk factors having a family member with, especially a closer family member. So if you have a closer family member who's had breast cancer, it's likely you share some of those risk factors, right? And therefore, you have to. That explains why a family is member is a risk factor. So that brings me to explaining the types of breast cancer. You can classify them based on your risk factors, whether it's familial or hereditary or somatic. Now, most of the mutations you acquire that cause breast cancer are called somatic. You acquire them during your lifetime, the exposure to different things, and then so 90% are what you call somatic. However, 5 to 10% are what you call hereditary. You already inherited some kind of risk from your parents. So that risk will increase your chances of getting, breast cancer. That's why, like I mentioned earlier, to reiterate, when the more closely related you are to some person who's had breast cancer, the higher your chances of getting it. Now, when you even look at the two types, you tend to see, I mentioned aging, right? So older people tend to get breast cancer. However, when you see individuals who are much younger, right, or multiple people in a family, then it's likely they already were born with a risk, hereditary risk, which now increases your chance. So the chances of getting all those mutations that could cause cancer happens earlier than the average person. Now, another risk factor is if you've had some kind of treatment like radiation early on in your life to your chest area. What happens with radiation? It can create breaks in the DNA, and these have to be repaired. So if the repair is a bit compromised, it can cause certain changes in the DNA, which could be mutations, and that could also add to that. Smoking is another risk factor. Smoking has what you call carcinogens. Carcinogens increase the chance of developing mutations in your DNA. I mean, smoking is a no-brainer. I mean, because the constant exposure causes all these mutations. So if you smoke as a woman or as a man, the chances of getting breast cancer increase. drinking alcohol. Alcohol, yes, can also increase, so to some extent, increase some of these hormones, estrogen, that increases your chances. And then it can also, it forms what you call, when alcohol is actually a toxin. So you have enzymes in your body that will break it down. In some of the intermediate products, it's called aldehyde. And this aldehyde can cause mutations in the cell. So that's another risk factor. Obesity is one of them. You know, not being active, and especially postmenopausal obesity. Because what happens is the fat cells now produce these hormones, which also increase your chance. Hormone replacement therapy boils down back to the hormones I was talking about. Hormone replacement therapy exposes, you to more hormones. So these are some of the risk factors that, scientifically make sense and then increase your chance of breast cancer. Because ultimately, breast cancer is what I call a complex genetic trait. It's just not the mutations that you acquire, but other things in the environment as well that will contribute to that.
To that. Are breast cancer cases different by region? Let's say women in Ghana, in Africa, compared to the West?
Absolutely. So when you talk about genetic diseases, right, they're influenced by your genes, right? And when you look at different populations, clearly based on even just looking at them, which is influenced, you see white people are white, black people are black. There are differences in the genetics. The same thing applies to genetic conditions. So there are some racial and ethnic variations. So for example, if you look at breast cancer, it can be classified based on the hormone status of the cancer itself. And there's a type called triple negative breast cancer. And for that one, it doesn't express some of these known hormones that are used to classify them. So they have the estrogen, progesterone, HER2. In this case, they're triple negative. They are negative for all these three hormones I mentioned. It's more common in black women and black people, and it's more aggressive. So what happens is we do for that and other reasons, we are more likely to die for breast cancer. I mean, it's compounded by the deficits in our healthcare system. But what happens is the triple negative breast cancer is more common in black people, not just black people in Africa, people of black descent in different parts of the world. So, but when you look at the incidence, the number of people who actually get breast cancer, you realize those in the U.S., for example, is over 100 per 100,000. In Africa, especially sub-Saharan Africa, it's around 35 thereabouts. It's lower. However, mortality is much higher in our population. And then when you look at the age, you realize that black women tend to get breast cancer at least 10 years younger than, their Caucasian counterparts. So these are some of the variations that you can observe in breast cancer. And it applies to a number of genetic conditions, because if it's underpinned by genetics and there are population-specific differences, they tend to be some ethnic and racial variations that you'd observe. Yeah.
I see that on your shirt. It's Nufufest. That's quite interesting. Nufufest. Yeah. What is Nufufest and what are you doing?
Okay, so Nufufest kind of bridges, in our situation, bridges the science and the advocacy. So I'll just go back a little bit. So I worked doing my PhD and my postdoctoral fellowship in the US. I mean, of course, doing genetics, but I became keenly aware of the gap in knowledge when it came to genetic diseases in general studies. Very little is done in Africans, although we tend to be the most genetically diverse population. So then I decided I wanted to move back to Ghana and work on a genetic condition. So looking at the statistic, I figured breast cancer would be a good space because there wasn't a lot being done. And so when I was preparing my proposal, I applied for a grant to WAGBIP. And I noticed, to my dismay, that for one, the mortality rate was disproportionately higher, very little research, and partly one of the reasons why the rate is disproportionately higher is that we present late at the hospitals. I mean, there's breast cancer, you have 0 to stage 4, but 70% of the time, stages 3 and 4 are what we present with at the hospital, which is at that time really more difficult to treat because it's spread. So then I figured, I'd want to add some advocacy without, just not just focusing on the genetics of breast cancer, but also, do some advocacy because it's partly due to low awareness. So that's how NufuFest was born with WAGBIP. WAGBIP is big on public engagement. So then I spoke with the director and he was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. So since 2018, we've had an annual NufuFest. And the name, NufuFest, Breast Festival. So I mean, it's a bit, I'll keep it short. But basically, we're trying to look for a nice logo, and so my friend Hammond Africa came up with Lolo, which I like. No, breasts don't look like that. I mean, so pneumatic. So we tried for 4. I thought no, it didn't look natural. So I said we should try Nufu, for example. You get more of a pendulous, more natural shaped breast, and more than 50% of Ghanaians actually understand tree. And then we wanted to do a festival. What happens is, I mean, some of the messages that come with gloom and doom, we know it's about mortality, but sometimes we want to appreciate breasts, basically celebrate breasts. The whole human race has survived on breast milk, the babies. So we want to appreciate that. And once you appreciate that, if you celebrate breast, you're more likely to take better care of them. So it's about celebrating breast, taking care of them, and noticing.
The men will be excited.
I hope so. They also have to take care of theirs. They also get breast cancer, but it's taking care of them so that when you notice any abnormality, you get you get treatment. You go to the hospital. So it's about celebrating breast. So it's usually like a festival where we do that, and then I guess you ask me about that later.
When is this festival, by the way?
So we would have loved to do it all year round, but we restricted to October in line with the global observation. And so for this year, this month, for example, we have 3 main activities. We had a Nufu aerobics last week, which, like the name suggests, aerobics at the University of Ghana Sporting Center, Sports Directorate. And so on Saturday, we have a pink parade where we're going to go for a walk from the University of Ghana campus to Medina, give out all these bookmarks and flyers with information, and then we circle back to campus and have a Kinke party. And then the third one is the main NufuFest activities, which are on the 29th of October, which is at the Banking Square, also at the University of Ghana, where we're going to offer free breast screening. We're going to have, like a quite multidisciplinary group from scientists to nurses to doctors, genetic counselors. We have other counselors, survivors. So the whole gamut, at the end, you want to approach, holistically, and then people get a really good experience. So there's going to be education. We usually have, the medical mannequin where we demonstrate how to even perform self-breast examinations and all of that. So those are the activities. And then we also have some other side gigs, in quotes, where we visit certain hospitals, maybe certain schools, give talks, things of that nature. So that's what NufuFest is typically about.
And then during the festival, when you detect, during the breast screen at the festival, when you detect maybe breast cancer, what do you do for these breasts?
So we don't detect breast cancer. We detect abnormalities, because you can't just detect, because not every lump actually is breast cancer. So we have these nurses. So now, I guess we talk about partners, but police hospital nurses, once they detect something, then you are referred to a healthcare professional to take it on there. So once you're referred to a healthcare professional to take it on, they do the biopsy, they check what it is, and then it progresses. So yes, you can't detect
on the spot.
No, you
cannot.
But
you have to take the lump through extra tests.
Yes, we wouldn't do that, but we'll help you
to know whether it is cancerous or not.
Yes, so they give you a note and then direct you to the next.
So if anybody has a lump in their breasts, should they be worried?
Not necessarily, but seek medical care, especially if it's something you've never seen. That's why you need to conduct your breast examinations, because you need to understand the topology of your breast. Everybody's breast is different. And even during your cycle, it can change. You have also, once you know it and you detect something, especially something that has never been there, you need to go see a doctor. They are well versed in, first of all, examining it, doing the right test, the mammogram, and etc., and then the biopsy to test the cells and all of that. Subclassify it for you and determine what kind of treatment you want. They will work for you. Yeah.
For black women, you say that we are at risk the highest. How often should we examine our breasts?
So we, as women, we are all at risk. As human beings, we are even men are at risk. Women are just 100 times more. So for women, for black women, so typically the recommendation is about once a month, right? But I would think the recommendation I would want to make is more about the timing. You know, typically it's recommended that women start screening around the age of 40. And you are dealing with Caucasian populations. You're looking at global numbers to determine that, you know, start. However, we get breast cancer 10 years earlier than a Caucasian counterpart. So in this situation, I would think that policy should recommend at least a decade earlier, you know, tests for mammograms and things like that. But for breast examinations, once you hit puberty, I guess, get older, I think once a month is something that you should do. You don't wait till October. I think some people just wait till October.
Yes.
No, you can get breast cancer at any time. It's just that breast cancer has been set aside as a month where people are, you know, actually raise, go full steam and raise breast cancer awareness. But I can get it at any time. So it's up to you to be checking monthly. And if you know you have a family history, that means you can get it much earlier. Like I mentioned, hereditary breast cancer, familial breast cancer. You're already predisposed. Your chances of getting earlier is much higher. So for someone like this, you have to increase your surveillance and be checking much earlier, at least, and then seek the right medical care and support. Yeah.
Talking about support, how do people support NufuFirst?
Oh, there's a lot. First of all, can I mention my partners?
Please do.
Yes. So NufuFirst, okay, we have the Wagbe West African Center for Cell Biology, Infectious Pathogens, West African Genetic Medicine Center, where I am. We have TLC, the Little Cow Consulting. We have FUSAG. We have DCL, the Cell Lab supplies.
Okay.
There's Yamachi Biotech. Well, I'm also at Yamachi Biotech as head of genetics. And Yamachi Biotech has launched this massive project called TACA to sequence people with cancer around Africa. And then we have Yamachi. We have Hard Bakes. They usually handle our food and all of that. I don't want to forget anyone.
Please don't.
Oh, and John DeMello.
Okay.
He's expecting a text from me today.
Okay.
You know,
that's the member of parliament for
yes,
your area.
for our area. He's actually supported us in the past. He came to Marina Market with us about 5 years ago. And he won't be in town, but his money will be in town. So he's going to support us. And so that's a reminder to him. So, yes, there. I don't want to forget anyone. So the University of Ghana in general, and other people who support, like the genetic counselors, the doctors, or the police hospital. Yes, they are helping with all the, you know, the nurses have the screening. Yeah, FUSAG. We're doing beyond the breast screening. There are other screens that provide nutritional counseling. They check your BMI, your blood pressure, all of that. So how do you support us? First of all, financial support. You know, the program is heavily run by, you know, students, University of Ghana students. We've had this year about 200 signed up. We have to feed them. We don't pay them, but we have to feed them. So we would appreciate financial support. I sent the details to the producer. I was hoping he would project it. And then beyond the financial support, we want you to spread the word. Take care of your breast. Examine them monthly. You should share the correct information. Try not to spread misinformation. Our mantra or slogan for it's care, act, and conquer breast cancer.
Care,
act and conquer breast cancer. And then when you observe there's an abnormality, visit the right institution, the hospital, so that you get the breast care. And then come to the Pinktober. And so are we going to share how you can support us?
Yes. And then the numbers.
I said the producer.
But you can mention them.
All right, let me check on my phone.
If you have the numbers.
I do. Sorry. 1 second. I should memorize it. Okay, so Telecel Cash, it's 050-689-1550. and they can do a bank transfer. So we have Nufu Foundation, LBG, First National Bank, Ghana Limited, 10210056100903. And then we have a link on GoFundMe that you can also access. And you can also walk into the University of Ghana, my office anytime.
And support, obviously.
Yes.
Nufu Fest is coming up, please. Let's go and screen our breasts. Let's go and support them as well. It's important that we do. That's Dr. Lily Pemka. She is a molecular geneticist. She's also a senior lecturer, Department of Biochemistry, Cell and Molecular Biology, and a deputy director of the West African Genetic Medicine Center at the University of Ghana. That should do for the show. Let's do some celebrations now. Oh, but actually, you spoke about. Happy birthday, Constant Heather. Be astronomically blessed in all your endeavors. Go and glow in this new chapter of your life. Let's meet at the top from Benjamin Saki. Seeing you grow into such a strong, amazing, smart, and beautiful woman has been one of the greatest gifts I've ever had in life. Today is another milestone in your journey. May God continue to bless and guide you in every step. Happy birthday, Gabriel Yaba Savage. Daddy loves you forever. Abba. Happy glorious birthday, Dr. Mrs. Rejoice Sherry Maudinam Senaya. God bless you so much for being an inspiration to us. We love you from the EMC stuff. To my beautiful sister, whom I cherish always, it's a special day, and I want to say I'll always appreciate you, no matter how annoying you are. I love you so much. May the good Lord bless you and elevate you to higher levels. Happy birthday, sweet Rosalinda, from your big brother, Bruno Garvey. Happy glorious birthday to you, Mrs. Abigail Mamlete, my CJ. May the Lord bless you and keep you and bring you success in all you do, from Brackway Kusiman. Happy birthday to the strongest, most amazing and generous woman I know. You are the heart of the family, the one who fills our lives with love, strength, and endless care. I'm so grateful for all your sacrifices, wisdom, and the warmth you bring into every moment. Your prayers keep protecting us every day and night. Mama Thess, may God bless you with long life and good health. And don't forget to stay strong for us, because we owe you a lot. From your daughter, Caroline Ines at Akimoda. Happy birthday, Flight Lieutenant Abnanya Kwaredu. May the Almighty God bless your new age. May He grant you good health, wealth, wisdom, and understanding, from Muriel and Manuel. Happy birthday to our lovely twins, Odefo Efiye Atuga Owusu and Sahine Efiye Atuga Owusu, for turning 2 years today. May you grow to be a blessing and inspiration to your generation. With love from Mom and Dad, Mr. Foster Owusu and Mrs. Francisca Owusu, FNF. Happy birthday to Areli. May you smile forever and grow graciously, from Mom and everyone. All right, so if you're marking a birthday today, happy birthday to you, marking a significant milestone. We say congratulations to you. Jones Aji will take over from me. He will be hosting the people from UDS who have won us some goodies. And interestingly, President Mohammed has equally given them some rewards as well.
Global Entrepreneurship Festival.
Mesdames et messieurs,